It's the Orioles on Masson on an absolutely gorgeous day at Ed Smith Stadium in Sarasota, Florida. The Orioles getting set to entertain the Minnesota Twins. And yes, it is St. Patrick's Day, and the fans are in their green, ready to have a good time at the ballpark. And hi, everybody. I'm Jim Hunter. Of course, for the players in spring training, it's a series of milestones. Of course, it's the report date, then the early camp workouts. That leads to the game schedule, where they hope to impress the manager and the general manager to earn a spot on the 25-man roster. Now, this year, Matt Wieters is one of those trying to earn a spot on the 25-man roster. Will he be ready in time? Well, for Matt, it all begins today as he will catch for the first time, working his way back from Tommy John surgery. Now, over the years, Oriole fans know he has been one of the most durable catchers in all of Major League Baseball. You go back over the last 5 years, even missing 128 games last year, Matt Wieters still seventh most in all of Major League Baseball. So Jim Palmer, for Matt and the Orioles today, this is the first test. He is 100% go, but probably has some butterflies.
Well, he does. You know, he's done a lot of catching, but he hasn't done a lot of throwing in game. We've seen him as a DH. He actually caught against Puerto Rico. But what's kind of interesting, we're going to see Bud Norris pitch for the Orioles today in Jupiter. He said, I can't wait for Wieters to get back there. So a lot of confidence. A guy that's going to catch probably, 120, 125 games. DH on occasion. All-star Gold Glove catcher. And the fact that he usually hits anywhere 22, 23 home runs. So he helps you defensively with his play calling. And he also helps you with a bat.
All right, so where's my tie? Your connections?
I don't know. Where's my voice?
St. Patrick's Day, and the Hall of Famer is dressed for the occasion. So here in spring training, the Orioles and the Twins. The Orioles bats finally broke out yesterday, and they're hoping to continue now towards opening day. Lineups and first pitch are coming up. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Sarasota. There's so much to see and do on the beaches and islands of Sarasota on Florida's Gulf Coast. Go beyond the stadium to Siesta Beach, named winner of the 2015 TripAdvisor Traveler's Choice Awards for beaches. Plan now at visitsarasota.org. Beautiful day to be on the beach. Temperature in the mid-80s today. Twins and Orioles here in Sarasota. As the Twins made their way up from Fort Myers, let's get a look at the Minnesota starting lineup for today. Aaron Hicks, their regular center fielder, will lead off. Then Escobar and Brian Dozier, the power-hitting second baseman, off to a good start in the spring. Vargas, Plouffe, and Rosario with Nunez, Pinto, and Shane Robinson, the former Cardinal, in right field.
Yeah, take a look at the scouting report on Bud Norris. better rhythm. The last two starts, I saw him in Jupiter on Thursday. He struggled a little bit with his control. First, 12 out of the first 24 pitches, ended up throwing a 3-run home run. Repeat success, came over last year. He was terrific, won 15 games, and then at least I sense this. I think if you talk to Dave Wallace, Tom Cheedy, Oriole respective pitching coaches, they will say as he gets older, real important year for him because he's a potential free agent. I think he understands pitching a little bit better, and he's done a terrific job for him. He was very much a big part of the Orioles when they were, 20 games over 500, 8-2 the second half of the year.
Well, a key man in that rotation, of course, the rotation is still unresolved, 6 for 5, and that's if you say, well, Mike Wright likely will begin the year in AAA, but he's still in camp and still in the mix. But Bud is a key man in that. He should fall somewhere within that 5.
Well, there's no doubt about that. Nice salary. But he looks very fit to me. And, I was talking to him before the game. Said he's trying to work on certain things. And he said, you do it on the sidelines. And then when the game starts, maybe you rush a little bit. He actually belongs, along with J.B. Holmes, who's had a really terrific start in the PGA, to a golf course over here. So he said it's a lot like hitting golf balls. Can you take that to the golf course? So that's what spring training is about. And
again, throwing to Matt Wieters. There's Matt, who is making his first start behind the plate in spring training games. Asked him yesterday at the practice if he was anxious and is he a little bit maybe nervous. He said, yeah, probably both. It's been a long time. As Jim mentioned, he did catch over the weekend on the backfields in the B games as Bud misses outside. But the good news, Jim, is that Matt is a full go. In spring training every day, Buck Showalter meets with Richie Bancells, the head athletic trainer, to ask, are there any restrictions on any players? And today, Matt Wieters had a full green on his name on the lineup card. So
I think that he would have liked to have played about 2 weeks behind the plate, but he's doing everything. He's been doing throwing. He just really hasn't done it in real time in a game. So he's ready to go. And the other thing he said, and we were down at the cage yesterday, he was talking about he actually hyperextended his throwing arm, which is the right one, swinging, and he said it didn't bother him at all. So I don't think, and Richie Bancells, Oriole trainer, saying he's never had anybody work as hard as Matt has to get back to what he does best, which is get behind the plate.
Well, Norris gets a strike after falling behind 3-0. His third start in the spring, and the first 2 he has struggled. Aaron Hicks, switch hitting center fielder. And back at the count now on the foul ball, 3-2.
Well, Tom Bernansky is a hitting instructor for Paul Molitor and the Twins, and he said those are the counts that Aaron Hick, who has a marvelous natural ability, he just has to be able to hone it up here. There is the Hall of Famer with over 3,400 hits, first year as manager for the Twins.
And he lost him, so a leadoff walk as Aaron Hicks, speedy runner, will head to first base.
Yeah, take a look at the Orioles defense. Lowe, Jones, Diaza, Machado, Hardy, Flaherty, and then Chris Davis with a big 3-run home run yesterday, also a double. And then Matt Wieters, first time doing the catching for the Orioles this spring.
Matt is hoping that the Twins try to run on him because he wants to test out that arm and see just how far he's come back. Here's Eduardo Escobar with Hicks getting a good lead off first. And there's a strike, so he gets ahead after falling behind the first hitter, 3-0. Escobar, 5th season, 26 years old, out of Venezuela. Minnesota got him from the White Sox in the trade a few years back when Francisco Liriano went to Chicago.
Yeah, he actually had a very nice year for him, but he had to play the infield last year. And Danny Santana played center field. This year it looks like Escobar, at least when talking to Paul Molitor, he said ideally Hicks, who's at first, would like to be in center, and then Santana will move in and play shortstop.
Good pitch on the outside corner.
Yeah, Escobar's trying to find something, and it's harder to do now when it's 0-2. Hit the ball into right field, create those first and third situations. I think the one thing that the Twins did so well, they were third in offense the second half of last year. Kind of an unknown number.
There's a double play ball. Hardy to Flaherty. And the turn back to first, and there's a double play. So the leadoff walk erased. And 2 men down. So Bud making his 3rd start of the spring. And, Jim, he is looking for just anything positive. He is on the 5-day rotation already.
Yeah, but, again, I think, a lot of times, especially for somebody that has a little bit of tenure, and that's what Bud does, it's all about getting your work in, getting your innings in. He said he felt better, and again, you can see the 3 runs against St. Louis. He got behind one of their hitters, wind blowing out, 3-1 fastball, 3 runs on the board for the Cardinals.
Dozier to left field. Chasing it down is David Lowe, and it's over his head and bangs against the wall. And that'll be a 2-out double, and a double play for Bud Norris, looming large here as it cleared the bases.
Yeah, if you don't get to see the Twins play a lot, you don't realize how good a hitter Brian Dozier is. Good high ball hitter, looking for something he can hit, and there it is, fastball, belt high. David Lowe can't come up with it.
Dozier in scoring position with 2 down.
Yeah, you can look at this lineup like you can any of them, and you know the guys you have to be able to get out in front and behind these hitters.
Kenneth Vargas, the youngster from Puerto Rico, now in his 2nd year. And strike 1 taken.
Yeah, big kid, a lot of power. 9 home runs and only 215 at bats last year.
Dozier at second with 2 down. And backs him off the plate. Whereas Minnesota is trying to snap out of a stretch. They've had 4 consecutive losing seasons. And in each of those seasons, they've lost at least 90 games. Paul Molitor now in his 1st year as the skipper. The native of St. Paul, Minnesota. Goes ground ball towards the hole. Ryan Flaherty gloves. He turns. He got him. Ryan Flaherty flashing the leather. And that gets Norris out of it as Ryan Flaherty on the outfield grass gets the out to end the inning. Scores, we head to the bottom of the 1st. Another nice crowd on hand at Ed Smith Stadium as the Orioles continue to draw well here in their spring home. Diaz, Hardy, and Davis with Jones, Wieters, and Machado. Travis Snyder will DH, then Lowe and Flaherty. Chris Davis hit a home run yesterday, now up to 9 RBIs as Davis looks for the bounce-back year.
And a scouting report on Phil Hughes, #1 starter, won 16 games. In fact, he was voted the most valuable Twin last year. Loves the fastball. Adam Jones was said nobody in the American League threw it more than him. And then how about pitching over 200 innings and walking 20? Only Cliff Lee has done that. That's how aggressive he was. And of course, the Orioles know him from all his days with the Yankees.
Phil Hughes, now 28 years old, facing Alejandro Diaz. He's off to a 2-for-21 start. And he lines it right to first. Big Vargas is there, and he's got it for the out, 1 away.
Well, maybe that's why he's only 2-for-21. We'll take a look at their defense. Rosario, Hicks, Robinson. Plouffe over at third. Escobar, Dozier for Vargas, who we just saw. And then Pinto who is a young catcher there, just trying to see if he can catch at this level, understanding, and probably the perfect matchup as far as battery make, because Hughes has all the experience that he has. He knows exactly what he wants to throw.
J.J. Hardy takes a strike. J.J. has 5 hits in the spring. He's 5 out of 18, 1 RBI. Key for J.J., though, is the health of his back, and right now it is fine. He is feeling real good. He said he worked very hard in the offseason on core work to strengthen the core, and he is feeling really good as camp continues here in Florida.
And those are the kind of swings when you're in the middle of the play with your fastball, 89. You know, you can see only 9 home runs last year. Typical year, at least with the Orioles, has been somewhere between 22 and 30 home runs. But last year, the bat kept him from doing that.
Broken bat off the off-speed pitch. Hughes will get it to first. Easy out and 2 quick. Retired by Phil Hughes in the Orioles first.
Yeah, you get 2 of these guys today to throw a lot of strikes. I mean, you know, I was reading something about Phil Hughes. He walked 2 intentionally, and then he walked 18 other batters. And in his first start, he walked 2 in the first inning, 1 in the third, and then walked, 15 guys the rest of the season. Kind of tells you what kind of command. Neil Allen, new pitching coach, but Rick Anderson, very aggressive pitching coach, was with Ron Gardenhire all those years. And I mean, really, the mantra for what they've always tried to do in Minnesota is throw strikes, and Phil Hughes did it very well. Look at those numbers.
His career high in wins is 18. He did that with the Yankees in 2010. As Davis fouls it off. He also had a miserable year, 2013, which was his last year as a Yankee. He went 4-14 with an ERA north of 5. But he got to Minnesota, Jim, and he figured it out.
Yep. And again, that mantra, hey, we're going to challenge guys, big ballpark. Of course, he won on the road, too, last year. And normally when a guy wins 16 games, and it's not like he came out of nowhere, because 18, 16 wins previous years with the Yankees, they only got him a little over 4 runs a game.
And Davis fouls him back. Chris is 5 out of 23 on the spring. He's trying to get the consistency back after batting just 196 a year ago.
Well, the double and the home run out over the plate. When you get to 2 strikes against Chris Davis, they try to go in. We'll see where he goes. Yep. Curveball. But the hard throwers, they're going to stay on the inside third of the plate if they can, out over the plate. Really, the landscape changes for Chris Davis. And then with Scott Coolbaugh coming on as the new hitting instructor, they have a lot of experience down in the Texas organization.
Trying to go to left field and fouled it back. The thing with Chris is if he uses the field, there's Scott Coolbaugh, a real good addition to the Orioles this year. If he uses the whole field, he'll begin to get better pitches to pull. And the other thing that he is working on down here, whether he'll use it or not, this one sliced down the left field line, a long run for Rosario, and in the corner, that ball carries out. There's a home run for Chris Davis. Now, how about that for using the whole field? Right down the line the opposite way.
Well, Phil Hughes can get in line with all the guys that think you make a good pitch. Boy, the year he hit 53 home runs. Hellickson threw a ball about 4 inches off the corner in the first series, and he hit it about 420 feet. Right here, he just takes the fastball outside, might have been off the plate, and flicks it into the left field corner, and wind blowing that way, as it usually does here in Sarasota. And Rosario just can't run it down. There's a fan waiting, and we're going to have to give him an error.
E-fan.
Yeah, you never know. Always got to bring your glove to the ballpark. You probably have yours here today. Oh, no, you got a banana.
I got a banana. Trying to eat better. This is my mid-game snack.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, mainly because there is no mid-game snack there. They closed the press room.
You better remove. Sharply hit the third off the bat of Adam Jones. There's Plouffe. And he'll get it across to end the first. And we'll head to the second. Chris Davis gets into one, his 3rd spring home run. The opposite way down the line for a 1-0 Orioles lead. About the pitching and starting pitching so important. Last year, Orioles starters 103 starts of 6 innings or less, 59 starts of at least 6 1/3. The innings pitched 10th in the American League, which meant the bullpen had the 5th most. And this is something Buck Showalter is looking at this year to get another third, another 2/3 of an inning to try to make it easier to manage that bullpen.
Well, it really is. And then, of course, Dave Wallace, Tom Cheedy come on, and, the ERA goes from 4.2 runs in 2013 to 3.43. It's almost an eighth of a run. A lot of it had to do, especially for the starters, use your fastball, control it, be aggressive early on. There's a strike. And I think if you look at Bud Norris, that's one of the things he did a lot better last year than he did the year before. So it's a matter of confidence that if you make your pitches, the Orioles, year in and year out, 2 years ago, they set the all-time record for least amount of errors. Even with Wieters and Machado out there, pretty good defensive club last year. They'll be back. Why wouldn't you throw strikes?
That ball's hit deep to left. That ball's going to get out of here. Trevor Plouffe just hit it out. There's his first spring home run, and we're tied at 1. That is the 3rd home run allowed by Bud in his 3 starts.
Yeah, 3 years ago, Trevor hit, 24 home runs. Last 2 years, 14. But the one thing he has really been able to do is 40 doubles last year. Now watch this. Watch you hang a breaking ball right in the middle of the plate. All he has to do, wind blowing to left, put a good swing on it. So it really doesn't matter if you're lefty or righty here in Sarasota. Ball gets up in the air. It's got a good chance to carry to left field.
Yeah, as always, the wind briskly blowing out towards left field. Eddie Rosario will foul it off.
It really doesn't matter if it's spring training or the regular season. If you make a bad pitch to a guy that is a pretty aggressive hitter, and Plouffe is one of those guys, may not hit home runs, but he's going to have a good swing. Same goes for the Oriole hitters.
Rosario 5 hits in the spring, falls behind 0-2. Rosario, a rookie, getting a look. 5 minor league seasons in the Twin system out of Puerto Rico. And he got him.
Yeah, back-to-back changeups and good ones. That's another thing that Bud Norris has always had, but Dave Wallace came on as a pitching coach. Boy, if you're going to throw a lot of fastballs, just slow the bat down. Good arm action, good location. Exactly where you want to throw it with 2 strikes. A little bit, just enough to tease him, but out of the strike zone.
Pitching coach Dave Wallace making some notes. Eduardo Nunez now, the former Yankee. He has become a versatile player for Minnesota, DHing today. Of course, he came up as a shortstop. He spent some time in the outfield.
Yeah, he was the guy they always thought was going to take Derek Jeter's spot. And they went out and got Didi Gregorius. We saw him a couple years ago in Arizona.
And popped up on the left side. Hardy's going to take charge until Manny calls him off. Yeah. He's got it for him.
Well, let's see. We have 3 Gold Gloves at shortstop the last 3 years for J.J. Hardy, and then Manny won the platinum glove, which is even better. That's
elite. They only have one of those.
Well, that's right. Of the Gold Glove winners, he was voted the best defensive player 2 years ago.
Yesterday was absolutely fascinating watching Manny and J.J. Hardy, the other players who stayed behind, working on their defense. Ryan Flaherty was in the group. It was on the backfield, the one that's the replica of Camden Yards. I think it's field 4. And Mike Bordick was hitting ground balls to Manny, simulating short hops. And Manny didn't miss one of them. It's just, you don't realize the amount of work that they put in on the backfields as Pinto swings and misses 1-1 to try to simulate as best you can game conditions.
And who would better hit the fungos than Mike Bordick?
Tapper out in front of the plate. Reeder's arm will be tested. And he gets it to first, wide of the bag, and safe is the call by John Hirschbeck. So Davis couldn't keep the foot on the bag. That'll be an infield hit.
Yeah, a little swing and bunt. Matt gets to it very easily, and then, as we mentioned, really hasn't been doing it game time. So can you make a good throw? He's not going to wheel. I mean, he certainly sets himself well enough to make an accurate throw. But that's pretty much what the next 2 weeks is going to be about.
Now, in the regular season, that call might be challenged. Looked like Chris may have had the toe on the bag, but Hirschbeck was behind the play. So Pinto on with the 2-out single, second hit in the inning. And here is Shane Robinson batting in the number 9 spot. Now, Bud in his first 2 starts lasted just a total of 3 2/3 innings. 23 batters faced in those 2 starts. 13 reached. 13 to the 23. And so far, 4 of the first 8 have reached here. Line to center. Jones was shallow. Adam has it for the out. And Norris gets out of it. Home run by Plouffe has tied the game. Mid-second at Ed Smith Stadium. We're tied at 1. Dan Duquette, and visiting with the Hall of Famer Frank Robinson. It's a day of royalty here at Ed Smith Stadium. Joe Torre now working with the Commissioner's Office, Hall of Famer. And Jim Palmer's in the Hall of Fame. He's at the game. Of course, the Minnesota manager, Paul Molitor, he's also in the Hall of Fame. Molitor, all he did was pick up 3,319 hits, and that is 10th most in big league history. So 4 Hall of Famers at the ballpark today. And Wieters fouls it back, leading off for the Orioles in the second.
Yeah, you can learn a lot from Paul Molitor, not only about hitting, base running, I mean, just the little nuances of the game. So he knows his stuff, and that's why he's getting a chance to manage, as you mentioned, try to change what's going on in Minneapolis, at least over the last 4 years.
Pretty remarkable the longevity that they've had in Minnesota. Tom Kelly managed for 15 years plus a September. Ground ball towards the hole. Right there is Plouffe. Sounded like he broke his back. And he gets it to first and 1 away. Well, fans, we invite you to visit Orioles.com/spring to bid on the special green and black O's caps that the team is wearing today in honor of St. Patrick's Day. And go Green Day here at Ed Smith Stadium. After the game, the caps will be autographed and made available for auction, with the proceeds benefiting the Marie Selby Botanical Gardens, a world-renowned botanical research center and leader in environmental education located right here along the Sarasota Bay. So support this great organization and pick up a very unique Orioles collector's item. Now, to make your bids, get online, Orioles.com/spring. And here's Manny, 1 away. Manny has 6 hits on the spring, 1 RBI. Slice to right center field, hanging up there, falling quickly, but in on is Shane Robinson for the out and 2 away.
Yeah, another nice pitch from Hughes. Again, Manny feeling the one thing about him is, and of course Buck Showalter, Orioles skipper, talking about it today. He said, listen, the guys are going to get their hits as long as they stay healthy. And that's the one thing with Manny. He had a regular offseason this year after having the other knee fixed. So he's ready to play already, and they have about 2 weeks to go. but it's all about the pitching. And it's all about the Twins. You know, more of their starters pitching like Phil Hughes was able to do. And as Buck Showalter said, all I really care as a manager is that my players stay healthy and my pitchers are ready to pitch when we start in Tampa.
There's Travis Snyder, one of the new Orioles. Real nice guy.
Yeah,
He's DHing today. Met him yesterday. He had a previous commitment after the trade from the Pirates, so he was unable to attend FanFest. But he's going to help this team. He plays both corners. And, of course, with the American League, as he's doing today, he can DH.
Well,
numbers with the Pirates last year.
We first met him when he was 20, and he came up with the Blue Jays. And volumes more maturity. Came up. Cito Gaston was a manager.
He had to adjust to a role last year with Pittsburgh. He was platooned quite a bit and used as a pinch hitter quite a bit. When you look at the first half of the year up to the All-Star break, he was in 80 games for the Pirates, but he only started 29 of them. And when you're accustomed to playing every day, it's difficult to adjust to that as he works a two-out walk.
But he said it made him a better player. Because, I look at one of my great friends, and he's a terrific hitting instructor, one of the great pinch hitters, Terry Crowley. Crow came up as a fourth, fifth outfielder, putting a lot of numbers, and he became one of the best pinch hitters because when you sit around, you better be ready to hit. And Travis will tell you last year, Clint Hurdle, really gets his players, and he's changed the whole climate over in Pittsburgh. But he really helped him with the mental approach. So you have a young player that's no longer young with a lot of experience.
Here's David Lowe. He takes a strike. Well, Dan Duquette has a knack of acquiring players as they're about to hit their prime. And Snyder, at 27 years old, appears to be maybe hitting right into that time frame of his career. Was a left-handed hitter at Camden Yards. That was very attractive to the Birds as Lowe takes the breaking ball down and in, 1-1.
Well, somebody has to replace Nick Markakis. It could be, Travis Snyder, even though he hit 381 against lefties. Maybe it'll be Nolan Reimold, who's having a nice spring, seems to be healthy. So whether, and we all had such respect for Nick over the 9 years he was with the Orioles, but he's no longer here, so you have to move on. It doesn't mean you don't forget the input and the impact he's had, for fans and for the Orioles teams. But for whatever the reason, he's in Atlanta, and then you go out for Dan Duquette, and you get players to replace him. And it may take two.
A ball and 2 strikes. And a strike in the outside corner gets David Lowe, and that will end the inning. So the two-out walk does not hurt Phil Hughes. As Travis Snyder gets on, we'll head to the third. But first, time for a dip. Well, a lot of Oriole fans come down from Baltimore, this beautiful facility, and you fly out of winter and enjoy the sunshine. A 1-1 game as we go to the third. And, of course, the Orioles are an organization of opportunity. And here's the numbers. Deep depth in spring. In the first 15 spring games, 34 different pitchers, 8 different starters, and 41 different position players, including minor league call-ups.
And if you talk to Buck Showalter, he will tell you. There we go. The birds everywhere. He was up here. Stop by.
There it is. Now we know where you got your tie from.
Yeah, well. But what Buck was talking about is, if you look at those numbers of all the pitchers, all the players, if you're a guy that's not even going to be on the 40-man roster, you know you're going to have a chance to play. And if you have a chance to play and you do well, you have a chance to impress scouts that come to these games. So it's, again, this organization gets people because they're good. And if you're a young player, you're going to get opportunities. And who could ask for anything more than that?
And when you get into a game, what you want to do is show the skipper that you're ready. And there are things that Buck does that really the players appreciate. And one thing happened yesterday in Clearwater where Jonathan Scope and his older brother, who's an Oriole minor leaguer, played in the game in Clearwater in the infield in the same inning. And Jonathan was saying before the game, it was so much fun. This ball's ripped to right, and on it Diaz, and he's got it for the out. And for 3 consecutive batters, they kept switching positions from shortstop to second base.
And he said you couldn't tell the difference.
So Norris gets the first out. First time in his 3 innings of work, he's retired the leadoff batter.
Yeah, even though it was a vicious line drive. In fact, the last 2 outs. And I think those are the kind of things, if you're a veteran pitcher, you're going, okay, yeah, we have a couple of weeks, but I have to start making better pitches. And whether it's the 3rd inning or the 1st inning or as you get into the middle of the game, I mean, that's really what pitching's all about. And that's what Bud was able to do last year. The quality of his strikes was so much better than the year before. And again, a lot of it had to do with the new pitching coaches that were saying, hey, if you're going to make quality strikes, you have to have a good windup. Got to work on that. And then you go out and compete. And Bud could compete.
Slice to left field. David Lowe in on it. Hangs for him, and he has it for the out. Well, normally the Orioles will have hit the midpoint of spring training yesterday when they played their 15th game. Usually you play 30 games, but the Orioles are playing 34 this year, so they got a ways to go, and their only off day of the spring will be March 23rd. So that'll come up next week, and this is the time in camp where the players need to get over that hump. You know, so they're in the routine. They don't all make all the road games because of the travel. But they're already anxious to get spring out of the way, even though there's still work to be done, and get to Tropicana Field for opening day. Adam Jones is certainly ready. We asked Jim and I yesterday at the workout, Adam, when are you going to be ready for opening day? He said 2 weeks ago I was ready.
Well, and
these games don't count. I'm going to save my hits for April.
Right, and then he went on to explain, he said, I don't get any hits down here anyway. We might as well start the season.
Dozier pops it up a mile high. Hardy has the better angle. And he calls everybody off, and he makes the catch. The ball sailed on him a little bit, but he hangs on. Nicely done by J.J. Hardy. So Bud Norris, a 3-up, 3-down inning. Mid-third in Sarasota, tied at 1. Sarasota. Everybody's dancing, having a good time as we celebrate the green. The bird came prepared, so did those young ladies. And the Orioles came prepared, especially with their gloves. Matt Wieters behind the plate for the first time this spring. Double play in the first. Flaherty takes a base hit away. But Norris likes it, and Chris Davis liked that swing. A home run the opposite way using the whole field. And we go to the bottom of the third. Ryan Flaherty will lead off, and Hughes gets ahead 0-1.
Well, wait a minute. Didn't he change his name to O'Flaherty today?
That's right. He's Ryan O'Flaherty.
And don't think that Buck Showalter doesn't know that he saved them a run in the first. And that goes down a little, if not written down, but into the memory bank of his manager. Because otherwise this game would be 2-1.
Ryan with 3 hits and 18 trips on the spring. Good cut there, but he fouled it back. Last year batted .221 with 7 home runs. Very versatile. 43 games at third, 30 at second, 29 at short, and 3 at first. Even appeared in the outfield over the course of the year. And there's a strike called in the outside corner. Tim Welke with a pretty big zone today, and Flaherty down on strikes. And 1 away.
Yeah, last 2 strikeouts are cut fastballs where you start them off the outside corner. And they're actually supposed to come back and hit the corner, but that one was way off the corner. I mean, take a look. Look where the glove comes back. In fact, I mean, that ball's, what, on the chalk?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, well, the Welke brothers are here today, and it is a festive day.
There's Alejandro Diaza, who lined out his first at-bat. He takes outside. Now, Diaza, one of the competitions in this camp has been for Buck Showalter to determine who will replace Nick Markakis as the leadoff hitter, with Nick now with Atlanta. And Alejandro, it appears, is being given the most looks. This is his 9th time this spring batting leadoff. Cabrera has led off 4, Manny twice, and David Lowe once. So based on those numbers, as we get closer to the midpoint of the spring, Alejandro is being given a look. That ball slicing towards center field. On the run, a diving catch by Aaron Hicks. Well, he just took at least a triple away from Alejandro Diaza, who is 0 for 2, having hit the ball hard twice.
Well, anybody that's seen Aaron Hicks play knows he can do this. Very good defensively. That's why Paul Molitor said, you know, he's my center fielder. Just hope he can run the bases a little bit better. But again, you're right, extra base hits, snared. And the other thing, the degree of difficulty a little bit harder because the ball, because it was sliced tailing away from him, made it look routine.
So Diaz has hit 2 bullets, and he's 0 for 2. Hardy takes a strike. JJ bounced back to the pitcher, fooled on an off-speed pitch his first at-bat.
When you walk 20 and a little bit over 200 innings, it's rather obvious that hitters go up there in the swing mode. Yankee Stadium, much better hitting ballpark than the Minnesota. But again, he can cut the ball and ride the ball with the best of them. Right there's another cutter. You started at the right-hander's hip and let it at least attempt to cut it back over the inside corner.
The walk to Travis Snyder in the second, only the 3rd for Hughes in the spring. This is his 3rd spring start. Pop-up. Back is Escobar, in as Rosario. The left fielder calls, and he's got it for the out. And Phil Hughes has a 3-up, 3-down inning. We're through 3 in Sarasota, tied at 1. mentioned it's all about the pitching and it's all about your starters giving you a shot. So how do you win and how do you pitch quality enough and enough quality innings to get those wins?
Yeah, and I think if you look at this chart, Chen leads the club with 16 wins, but again, only 8 of them half. That's 50%. That's a little bit lower than you like. Same with Bud Norris. Tillman, of course, very consistent. Gonzalez didn't get a lot of run support, very consistent. And then Kevin Gausman, 6 out of 7 for a guy really pitching in his first, not entire season, but first year as at least over the last 3 months as a starter. He did a terrific job. And I think if you want to explain that, it's not that you really pitched, 3 runs in 6 innings is a quality start, but that's a 4.50 ERA.
Right.
The league and really the MLB numbers came down into the 3s last year, so runs at a premium. So does that mean you didn't pitch well, or you didn't pitch 6 innings, or you got runs early and then the bullpen did their job? It's pretty much a combination of all those things.
1-1 on Vargas leading off. So if you're Buck Showalter and Dave Wallace and you're trying to get at least 20 outs from your starter, that gets you 6 2/3. So you're already 2 outs into the 7th inning. And it makes it easier to manage the bullpen as Flaherty down on it. He plays the hop. And 1 away here in the 4th. Well, don't forget this Saturday, big day, March 21st. You can head out to the ballpark and try your seats. It's Tag Day, 10:30 until 2. All the seats at Oriole Park that are still available to be purchased as part of a full or partial season plan will be clearly marked. Fans, you can get out there, sit in the seats, sample the views, and choose the perfect seating locations. Purchasing a full or partial season plan is the only way to gain access to Birdland's hottest ticket. Of course, that is opening day against the Blue Jays on April 10th as Adam Jones puts it away. So get out there this Saturday, March 21st, Tag Day, 10:30 until 2 at Orioles Park. And for all the info, go online, Orioles.com, or just call the Birds, 888-848-BIRD. Not many empty seats here.
Oh, no.
A Tag Day is a great idea. You go to the ballpark, and of course it's a little colder back home, but you sit in the seat and you say, this seat's going to be great when the Orioles are in a pennant race, and I buy that season ticket and I have that seat.
And then I get a chance to buy postseason.
Absolutely. So Norris has retired 6 in a row since that swinging bunt by Pinto.
Well, I think one of our keys to the game was rhythm. And, he's gotten away with a couple of pitches. The home run to Plouffe was up with a couple of line drives, but right there, 93 on the corner. Good change up right there.
He's retired 8 of the last 9 since the Plouffe home run. Bud now 30 years old, his 7th season.
And nowadays, if you're going to try to get those, get into the 7th or 6 1/3, 6 2/3, it's pretty much about the pitch count. So how do you do that? Be aggressive early on.
Chopper foul. Well, last year, very, very consistent for Bud. In his first 14 starts, he won 7 games. In his last 14 starts, he won 8 games.
Yeah, the amazing thing, I think the one thing that he says, I don't really know the answer, was, over his career away from home, wherever, when he was pitching in the National League for Houston, he's 22-36 at home, 31-21 with a, ERA of over 5 runs on the road.
Sharply hit foul.
So last year he was 7-6 away. At home, he had an incredibly low ERA at 2.44, but it was almost 5 runs a game on the road. Yeah, the mounds are different, and the ballpark's different. But it's surprising there's that big a disparity because he's too talented. So maybe is, again, one of our keys to the game, more maturity, understanding what he has to do to make the change.
Rosario, pesky at bat, staying alive on the foul balls. Well, since becoming an Oriole, Norris in 39 games, 37 starts, has 19 wins. He is 19-11 as an Oriole. He was picked up at the trade deadline 2013 and then spent all last year with the Birds. This ball's hooked down the right field line. Diaz was towards the gap, and that's going to head all the way to the wall. Rosario, second base, is thinking 3. He's got the afterburners on, and he's going to make it without a throw. Rosario, after fouling off several real good pitches from Bud Norris, hooks one down the line for a 2-out triple.
Yeah, if you're pitching, it's pretty annoying because he makes a good pitch. Looks like a changeup down and away. But again, he's fouled balls off, keeps his front shoulder in. Going to certainly make his manager happy. Because not only does he cause more pitches to be thrown by Bud Norris, doesn't mean a whole lot here in spring training because he's not going to pitch into the late innings. But not only with 2 strikes, toughest time to hit, really good at bat.
Well, he's stretching it out, trying to keep this game tied. Here's Eduardo Nunez with a runner at 3rd and 2 down. And, you know, you're looking to build each start. Check swing gets the call, strike 1. Bud pitched a combined 3 2/3 innings in his first 2 starts, and he's gone 3 2/3 today. They're trying to get that final out here to go 4 full at least. T.J. McFarland and Wesley Wright are also scheduled to pitch today. That ball's hit deep to left center field. Low back, Jones back, and that ball carries out of here. That's a home run for Eduardo Nunez. So it got up in that jet stream, and it kept on going.
Yeah, wind probably blowing out 20 miles per hour. Well, again, if you go back, I mean, Rosario has a terrific at-bat to get to second. And then we saw Nunez play for the Yankees. He gets a fastball right down the middle. And it's a fly ball in any other ballpark, but today it's going to be a 2-run home run.
So a couple of home runs allowed by Bud, accounting for all 3 Minnesota runs. There's Yasmiel Pinto, the catcher. And Norris misses upstairs. Pinto, a swinging bunt hit, his first at bat. Weeder's throw pulled Davis's foot off the bag. Although a replay showed his toe was on. But no replay reviews in spring training. So after 2 outs and nobody on, the great at bat by Rosario to keep the inning going. He triples, hooking one into the corner, and then a mistake pitch that Nunez doesn't miss and hits it out. Fouled off the screen. So this spring, 16 pitches in his first start, 28 in his second, up to 55 today, and that's the progression, stretching it out.
It really is, and
that's the key.
Yeah, and at least when I pitched, it was how many innings you're going to pitch. Now it's how many pitches you're going to throw. That's why he was relieved in the 3rd over in Jupiter the other day. Right there, at least the good intentions of trying to hit that outside corner. I would imagine maybe he would have 65 pitches today.
Well, he had 2 outs and nobody on before this rally. This ball's lifted to left. David Lowe is right there, and he has it for the out. Well, the inning finally ends, but not before Minnesota gets the lead. Mid-4th, 3-1 Twins. Club back again this season, still remaining one of Birdland's best values in family entertainment. Kids 14 and under get tickets to 10 games, an exclusive club hat, membership card, sports bag, and more, and it's all for just $25. Members even get exclusive giveaway items at each game, and family and friends tickets start as low as $6, and you also get the chance to upgrade to the lower deck. Now put your family in our lineup. Get online, Orioles.com/dugout club, or call 888-848-BIRD. Bring the kids out to the yard. Chris Davis will lead off. Homer down the left field line his first at-bat. His third spring home run, now his 10 RBIs. And he rips it. Diving stop in the shift. Dozier from his knees will get the out. So Davis nearly hit it past him, but Dozier with outstanding range able to get the out and one away.
Yeah, quality at bat, but bad result. I mean, here's your defensive alignment, change up. I mean, it goes out, really hits it hard. Of course, Brian Dozier, more home runs, more walks, less strikeouts, better range at second. I don't know if he hit 23 home runs, you could be described as scrappy. But he's made himself into a really good player.
And what was interesting about that ball hit, if they weren't shifting, if Dozier was at his regular position, that would have been right at him.
Well, he may have taken him right into right center field. It's hit so hard, but... Well, there's the shift. Let's see, David Ortiz, they shift on the most. Right behind him, Chris Davis.
2-0 on Adam Jones, who bounced out his first at-bat. Adam will turn 30 on August 1st. On his 10th big league season and 8th with the Orioles. Another outstanding year a year ago. He had a 14-game hitting streak along the way. He also had a 10-game hitting streak last year, and he had 55 multi-hit games. And a high pop-up. Dozier out, Robinson in, and Robinson has it for the out. And 2 away here in the Oriole 4th inning. We hope you can join us on Wednesday, March 25th. More spring training action here in Sarasota. The Blue Jays will be in town to take on the Birds. Our coverage on Masson begins at 1 o'clock. So be sure to log on to MassonSports.com all spring long for daily news and notes from Oriole spring training. And join us next Wednesday, March 25th for our next telecast. MassonSports.com double teaming this week. Rock Cabaco's been here the whole way, and Steve Molesky's down here as well. Swinging butt maybe. Pinto gets it to first to get Wieters. And Phil Hughes has another strong inning. Back-to-back 3-up, 3-down innings for Phil Hughes. We're through 4. Minnesota with the lead. Third spring start today, and for the most part made some good pitches, but he leaves trailing.
Yeah, we're right here. A big double play after the leadoff walk to Aaron Hicks. And then right here, another outstanding play to save a run. Ryan Flaherty ranging to his left. And good change-ups. I mean, he used all his pitches. Windblown fly ball, the difference. after a great bat by Rosario. Tommy Hunter is going to come on to pitch for the Orioles here in the 5th inning. Having a nice spring, maybe a few more walks than normal. Well, what a year he had last year. Again, new pitching coach with Wallace and Chidi coming in. Kind of after May didn't throw the cutter, came up with a 2-seamer, working on a split-fingered changeup. Said we will see that today. And then he was number 10 as far as best velocity of any pitcher in the American League last year. 96.5, the average fastball.
Shane Robinson, the number 9 batter, will lead off. And a bounce of his second. Flaherty gets a nice hop as he charges in. And on one pitch, one away in the Minnesota 5th inning. Well, fans, single-game tickets for the upcoming season are now on sale. You can lock in your tickets to the best games of the season, including the special new promotional dates that have just been announced, including AL East Championship wall art on Saturday, April 11th. How about Buck Showalter Garden Gnomes Day, Saturday, June 27th. J.J. Hardy replica jerseys on Saturday, August 15th. Get online, Orioles.com, for all the details. Single-game tickets are available. Now, of course, the key to the single-game tickets, you can speculate. You know, you look ahead, big AL East series coming up maybe in August. Buy your tickets now, and then you have them. You don't have to worry about it. And Hicks. Now, Tommy Hunter has not been in a game for a week. And one of the reasons for that is all the arms that the Orioles had in camp. But with players now beginning to be optioned back to the minor leagues, the players who will be in the Orioles mix will begin to get more regular work.
Yeah, you would think working on a split changeup, very much like Darren O'Day, another Oriole reliever working on a changeup in spring training. This might be the place.
Chop to short. Hardy waits on the hop and fires to get him. Trust in his arm there.
Well, last 44 games, once the cutter went away for Tommy Hunter, the ERA was under 2 runs a game. He started the year as a closer. He actually, had 11 saves, but they were a little dicey. That's how Zach Britton got the job. He was 37 out of 41, and Tommy assumed the role of setup guy, and boy, did he do an outstanding job.
Eduardo Escobar now.
There's the 96.
And a base hit nearly hits Bill Welke up the middle. Actually, that's Chad Fairchild. The umpires rotated. Welke's now at first. No 2-out single. Well, Tommy, an important man in the bullpen late in games. He can go more than 1 inning if needed. With that power arm at the back of the bullpen, certainly an asset.
Yeah, I was talking to him the first inning. The Orioles actually saw him when he was traded over from Texas in Kansas City, throwing 96, 97. Then as a starter, he dropped down to 91 to 93. And he said, well, I could have thrown harder when I was a starter, but I probably would have been leaving in the 3rd and 4th innings. So very much like Mike Wright, we've seen his velocity went up now that he's being used out of the bullpen, at least at this point in spring training.
Well, there will be options if needed this year at both AA Bowie and at AAA Norfolk. There's a chance, and it looks like it's going to happen based on what their projections are, that all of the pitchers in the rotation at both Bowie and Norfolk will have been drafted and developed players by the Orioles. Homegrown players.
And the other reason, you talked about, we showed you that graphic, 34 pitchers being used in the first 15 spring training games. And again, you evaluate them, you keep them here. They get to work with the Major League pitching coaches.
Towards the corner down the line. That is a fair ball. David Lowe will have to dig it out. Escobar was running with 2 men down. He's being held at third. And there's a double for Brian Dozier. Yeah, Gene Glenn, the third base coach, not taking any chances as David Lowe ran it down quickly.
Yeah, a lot of times you might send him, but how quickly does the left fielder, in this case it's David Lowe, does he get to the ball? And he's a plus defender. So he gets to it quickly, snap throw, that's your cutoff man, and Gene Glenn's going to say nope. have two men in scoring position, we'll take our chances.
So second and third with two down. Second consecutive inning, Minnesota has started a rally with 2 outs and nobody on.
And both time with 2 strikes. One on a changeup, but that was off of Bud Norris, and then a curveball from Tommy Hunter.
Kenneth Vargas with a chance for a couple of RBIs. Fastball misses high. It's going to be interesting to see the final 25-man roster and the makeup of that. High fly ball to right field. Long run for Alejandro Diaz, and that ball is gone. That carries out of here to right field, and folks, the wind's blowing the other way. That ball was smoked. So a 3-run home run, making it 6-1 in favor of Minnesota.
Yeah, we told you he had 9 home runs in 215 at-bats last year. And then again, if you're a young hitter, what kind of pitch do you get to hit? And this is a changeup that just stays up, and yeah, you're right about the wind. I mean, you could see Matt Wieters reach for it, but belt high in the middle of the plate, hits the foot down, and boy, he has some power. He turned the wind around.
So for the second consecutive inning, a home run. And a 2 outs, nobody on rally, leading to 5 runs the last 2 innings. 1-0 on Plouffe, who homered his first at-bat against Bud Norris. The other thing that's going to complicate the eventual roster is how many players are out of options. And do the Orioles run the risk of maybe losing a player if they try to get somebody through waivers to outright them to the minor leagues? Popped up back of the plate. Wieters giving it a look. And fell down.
Yeah, I don't think he saw it.
Not catching in an A game for the first time this year. He did catch a couple of B games over the weekend on the backfields. Tomorrow, Buck Showalter says, will be the key for Matt. How does he feel after catching for the first time the circumstances of a real game? Bouncer over the head of Tommy Hunter. Flaherty is right there, and he gets it to first. Inning ends. 3-run home run by Kenneth Vargas, as Tommy Hunter allows it. Led to the bottom of the 5th. Minnesota in front. Your copy of the Orioles all-new official legacy book of Baltimore Orioles, 60 Years of Orioles Magic. The book featuring behind-the-scenes stories and photos of the team's first 6 decades, and a special foreword written by Orioles legend and Hall of Famer Jim Palmer. All Orioles full or partial season plan members receive a 20% discount on purchasing the book, so reserve your copy today. Get online, Orioles.com/book. Bud Norris trying to stretch it out, goes 4 innings today. Bud, nice enough to Doris, join us here. And Bud, what'd you think? How do you compare this outing to the prior two?
A little bit better. I'm feeling better over the rubber each time I get out there, and the up and downs are pretty important to get your pitch count up. And sitting in the dugout for that half inning is pretty important to really keep your body going. So it's good to get back out there, keep doing your warm-up pitches, and getting innings of work under my belt. And I'm happy with the progress little by little.
Yeah, I thought the windup looked much better than it did in Jupiter. And the other good thing is once the season starts, the wind usually doesn't blow out to left field in any of the American or National League ballparks.
Yeah, I said, Jim, we've been talking a little bit. I'm just really trying to really control myself for the windup, and getting back out here in spring training, that's what it's about, is really controlling your body, and that's why they give us the 6 weeks. So I felt a lot better today, and more work to go.
Do you work on specific pitches in each start, or is it a combination of everything that you have available?
I've really been working on the changeup the first three. Threw a lot today, too. In that fourth inning, I had the guy 0-2, and I kept throwing changeups and that, and I went into it today just to keep working on it. The guy ended up hitting a triple on a pretty good pitch, but in that scenario, might be throwing a slider or something in the inner half of the plate. But I threw 4 or 5 good changeups in that at bat, and seeing the progress is what I'm here to do, and excited with that. So, having Weedy back there was great, and want to keep working with him.
One of my scouting reports today was maturity. I saw you pitch in the National League, but what came over 2 years ago, I really think you have a better sense of what you need to do to be successful now than you maybe even a couple of years ago.
Absolutely. I've learned so much. You never figure this game out completely. There's, every day you're trying to learn something new, and having this group of guys around me, and guys like you, Jim, and pitching staff and everybody else trying to help everybody around here, just collective group trying to get better, which is great. And that's the show last year what we did, but we got a lot more work this year going into it. But feel good, and that's what I want to keep going.
One of the storylines as Machado goes down, Brian Dunsing now on for Minnesota, especially nationally, is, the Orioles, how did they do it last year? They don't have an ace. They don't have a number one. But to me, what the Orioles do have is a quality staff and pitchers that give you a chance to win.
We got a lot of guys. A lot of guys that know how to pitch and can compete. And at the end of the day, if you can call us competitors, whatever you want, we're more worried about the front of the jersey on the front. The name on the front is more important than the name on the back, and that shows. With Tillman, that guy, and Ball, and everybody else. This group wants to go out there, compete, and pitch. So we're excited to have everybody back healthy, and we got to make a run at it this year.
Bouncer to first off the bat of Snyder. The flip from first baseman Vargas to the pitcher, and 2 away.
So do we work on our short game later on this afternoon, or what do we do?
No. I'm going to get in that cold tub, take care of the legs in the back, do a little running. But Pops is coming in this weekend, so I'm sure we'll get out there for a round.
All right. Well, Bud, congratulations on the outing, and keep it going. Not the results you want in the box score, but certainly in what you did to stretch it out. Appreciate the visit.
Thanks, guys.
All right, that's Bud Norris joining us from just beyond the Orioles bullpen, and they were nice to him. Those sunflower seeds today.
No.
That could be because Tommy Hunter's in the dugout, not out there. Here's David Lowe, and there's a strike.
Yeah, Brian Dunsing comes on to pitch for the Twins at 63, 72 games the last 2 years. We saw him initially in his career as a starter.
Yep.
Much better as a reliever. Matches up better. Doesn't have to get a guy out 2-3 times.
In the last 2 seasons, Minnesota has used him exclusively as a reliever. A lot of experience, now 32 years old.
Yeah, their closer, Glenn Perkins, so if he's healthy, he had some elbow problems last year. This year, I think a little bit of a rib cage, so he's starting to throw. Their bullpen was not the problem. The starting pitching, ERA of over 5 runs a game. But over the last 4 years, Paul Molitor was telling us it was probably the highest in the American League.
And David Lowe down on strikes, so 3 in a row retired. The Orioles have just 1 hit in this game. Well, we're through 5. Time for a snack. 6-1 Minnesota. Fans, we hope you can get online, Orioles.com/spring, and bid on the special green and black O's caps the team is wearing today in honor of St. Patrick's Day. And go Green Day here at Ed Smith Stadium. After the game, each cap will be autographed by the players and coaches and made available for auction, with the proceeds benefiting the Marie Selby Botanical Gardens, a world-renowned botanical research center and leader in environmental education located right here in Sarasota Bay. Over 130,000 people each year go to the Selby Gardens. They relax, they learn, they explore, learn all about the plants and all the educational programs. Just a fabulous facility here in Sarasota. So get online, Orioles.com/spring, and bid on those wonderful hats. Maybe you'll get Chris Davis's hat or J.J. Hardy's hat. Adam Jones has a hat. And T.J. McFarland has an assignment.
Yep. Come in and keep it exactly where it is. Kind of amazing. That's why Buck Showalter likes him so much, because he can do so many things. A lot of people think that he could be a starter in the big leagues, but, you know, can be a long man. Can be a guy that can get lefties, righties out. So multi-purpose left-handed reliever. A little different windup over his head this year, because he said, first of all, my stride's a little bit longer, throwing harder. But for him, it's always about, can you throw the ball down in the zone? And against lefties, trying to tighten up the slider.
That ball's ripped to right field. Diaza won't get it. Plays it on a hop. And Eddie Rosario with a base hit.
Well, Jim, my experience in spring training, when you and the Twins have a lot of young hitters, if you get 2-0 and you throw something in the middle of the plate, the young hitters, that's why they usually are prospects, because they can hit the fastball. So we've seen today, one of the home runs was windblown, but anything in the middle of the plate, these guys are having some really good at-bats.
Eduardo Nunez, one of those home runs. He got it up into the jet stream. Got that one off Bud Norris in the fourth inning. All 6 of the Minnesota runs have been driven in on those 3 homers. Meantime, the Orioles have been held to 1 run on 1 hit and just 2 base runners through 5 innings.
Yeah, it's an amazing game yesterday. 14 runs, 5 home runs, 21 hits.
Bouncing towards the hole, perfectly placed. Rosario thinks about going to third. Diaza was right on it.
Well, that is one heck of a hitting approach. And don't think that their skipper, Paul Molitor, couldn't do that. What'd you say, 3,319 hits? Well, he should be happy. You know, you're trying to get him to pull the ball, roll over, and you get it up a little bit. He shoots it into right field.
Rosario to second, Nunez to first. Here's Yashmiel Pinto, the catcher, 25-year-old out of Venezuela. And there's a strike, 0-1.
No, their regular catcher is going to be Kurt Suzuki. And then they had Chris Hermans, another guy trying to make the club. Pinto struggled defensively last year, but they like his bat.
Foul back, nothing at 2 on Pinto.
Now, you know what T.J. McFarland wants to do? Try to induce a ground ball at one of his infielders here. A couple outs on 1 pitch.
Last year, the right-handed batters hit .324 against TJ. Lefties .266. He's one of those guys that has the ability to really minimize damage. A lot of base runners, but not a lot of runs allowed. His ERA last year, Jim, was 2.76. A fairly credible ERA despite those high batting averages against him. 25 years old, 3rd season with the Orioles.
Well, that's what the sinker can do. You know, he can either come in like Andrew Miller, who's now with the Yankees, and strike people out, 34 and 20 innings, and you can throw double play balls to the ground.
Ahead 0-2, 2 on and none out. Showalter and his staff a lot of decisions to make over the remaining weeks. Opening day was 3 weeks from yesterday. So still a lot of time down here to try to figure it out.
Good breaking ball there.
And of course, if you're one of the players in this camp that Buck can send to the minors as opposed to losing somebody else, and TJ unfortunately is one of those. He does have options remaining. Brad Brock, Zach Britton, Brian Mattis in that bullpen do not have options.
Ryan Webb, I think, is in that group too.
Foul back again. So these Twins hitters are pesky and prolonging at bats.
Well, their skipper and Tom Bernansky, their hitting instructor, I mean, big, strong guy, played on some of those really good Twin teams with Gaetti and Herbeck. And they went to the World Series and won in '87, again in '91. But in that ballpark, especially at home, you better use the middle of the field. And it's a huge ballpark, and they've been able to do that today.
There's a double play ball. Flaherty to Hardy. And back to first. 4-6-3, 2 down. To third goes Rosario.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. A little sinker. And again, catcher doesn't run well. Turns it very nicely. 1 pitch, 2 outs. Now a chance to get out of the inning.
So this is a typical T.J. McFarland inning. Minimizing the damage. Shane Robinson, the number 9 batter, who had spent his entire career with the Cardinals and signed here over the offseason as a free agent, now 30 years old.
Yeah, they went over to Jupiter the other day, got a standing ovation. Very much like the fans here in Sarasota. Boy, you go to, I went over last Thursday to see the Orioles play the Cardinals. Boy, they come down there and they love baseball.
Did you get an ovation?
No. You know, it's funny, I was there last year, and Joe Namath was throwing out the first pitch, and I said, whatever you do, he said, you know, it's not like throwing a football. I said, no kidding. Not like getting some 300-pound guy trying to tackle you either. I said, don't go on the dirt. But he did. Good change up there. And when he did, you slip a little bit.
Right.
You never want to venture any farther than the edge of the dirt when you're throwing out the first pitch.
So the grass helps you.
Yeah. Well, it's what, about 50 feet?
Oh, that too.
Well, you know, Mike Bordick throws terrific batting practice. And, we were watching him yesterday. I said, boy, you're getting hit hard. He said, yeah, 48 feet. A little bit, about 2 feet farther than Little League. Bordy will go the whole practice and maybe throw 1 or 2 balls out of the strike zone.
And then he's upset with himself.
Yeah, exactly.
And the players do have their favorite BP pitchers. I know there's a lot of guys. Rudy Arias is very popular pitching BP.
Well, Rick Dempsey, when Demper used to be a coach, he great arm. He threw great batting practice.
Scott McGregor was throwing sliders yesterday with his mouth. And then there's a 2-out walk. And Robinson, a good at-bat, works it. Of course, when camp breaks, Scotty will stay down here and monitor the extended spring. McFarland has allowed 3 base runners of the 4 batters to reach. The double play ball helped him out. And he'll face Aaron Hicks. Switch hitter will bat right against McFarland. He's not missing by much, but he's missing.
Well, part of that also is that they're taking. Because if you go up, I mean, Tom Bernansky, again, the hitting instructor for the Twins, was saying Aaron Hicks will become a better player when he can have a little more of a discerning eye. So what do you want to hit? Are you willing to go to 2 strikes? Get your pitch? Are you chasing out of the zone? Pitchers want that. Boy, it's so annoying when hitters make you throw the ball over if you're trying to pitch.
Minnesota has gone in order just once in this game, but Doris got him 3 up, 3 down in the 3rd.
There's a good take. A little change up, turn it over. Hope that he'll chase, and he doesn't. So now all of a sudden, instead of the count being 1 ball and 2 strikes, a pitcher's count, it's a hitter's. And again, what Bernansky was talking about, here's a guy that's been trying to get and play every day in the big leagues. Get your pitch here. And we got another good take.
Well, patience at the plate is something that's been preached in this camp this year.
Well, Aaron Hicks is such a good center fielder. If he is able to run the bases, get on base, defensively he's a whiz, then that allows him to take Danny Santana, who's not playing today, and move him to shortstop.
And there's a walk. So back-to-back walks after the double play ball, and that'll load the bases. TJ trying to get that final out without allowing another run. Here's Escobar, who singled and scored in the 5th. He got that rally going, 2 outs and nobody on. And of course, this seems to be the spring of injured pitchers. Tampa Bay Times reporting that Alex Cobb left his start today after 32 pitches with forearm tightness.
Yeah, it's also the point in spring training. If you do have anything, they're going to back you off. I mean, just the way the game is played now. I mean, if you're sore, you'll ice it.
Center field. Adam Jones back on it. That ball's hit a long way, and that ball is gone. It is over the wall for a grand slam. Eduardo Escobar going deep. And Minnesota home run derby, their 4th in this game, and they have blown it open. It's 10-1.
Yeah, 11 hits, 10 runs, and not a good day to get behind hitters. Not a good day. I mean, not a horrible pitch. But again, uses the big part of the ballpark, gets it up in the jet stream, and it blows right out of here. But again, if you look at that inning, it's not about the fly ball. It's just TJ rare wildness. It kind of loads them up for you, and then you throw the fly ball, and all of a sudden, 4 runs are scored.
Dozier's 2 out of 3. McFarland gets ahead of him 0-2. Bud Norris allowed 3 earned runs. Tommy Hunter 3 earned runs, and now McFarland 4 earned runs. Just misses inside 1-2.
Yeah, you love the approach, just the execution. I mean, he missed by, as you mentioned, a couple of inches. And then there's a changeup down and away, so both sides of the plate. If you're on your game, maybe that one's on the corner. Dozier has to chase. Maybe you actually hit the corner on the 0-2 pitch. Today, at least to this point, hadn't been able to do that.
2-2 on Dozier. Sharply hit. There's a base hit through the hole. And Dozier's 3 out of 4. And here comes Buck. 7 batters faced. 6 have reached against McFarland.
Yeah, so you're looking not only the result. I mean, I don't think that has anything to do with it. It's pretty much how many pitches was he going to throw. And he threw his limit.
So 4 runs in, a runner on, 2 down. McFarland out for the O's. Well, here is Pedro Vieto, now back with the Orioles, originally an Oriole, and then went away to the organization, signed to a minor league contract. Those his minor league numbers, trying to get the final out here.
Yeah, big guy out of the Dominican Republic, 6'6". Always been a hard thrower. Last year with Atlanta, a couple of years with the Red Sox. Brief appearances at the major league level.
Grounded to Davis. He'll knock it down, step on the bag, and the inning finally comes to an end. So Pedro Vieto gets out of it. 4 more for Minnesota and a 10-1 Twins lead. Live Orioles baseball is back in 2015 with MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. Stay connected with live radio broadcasts, stats, breaking news, and more. Download the MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Beautiful day in Sarasota, mid-80s temperature, and a 10-1 Minnesota lead. Dunsing stays on. Here's Ryan Flaherty, who bunts at it, and foul tip held by the catcher.
Yeah, that is one of the things that Buck Showalter, the Orioles skipper, said is paramount. Now, they play him pretty conventional. You know, a lot of times they will put the shift on Ryan Flaherty, and Buck didn't say, I'm suggesting to him that he bunts, not to first base like he tried, but down the third base line. So I think this is pretty much in a 10-1 game, even though the third baseman's playing pretty shallow. He's just trying to work on his bunting. A big part of his game, especially when they shift.
And Flaherty trying to bunt, now behind 0-2.
Helmet. And you know, Brian Dunsey didn't want to do that. He really goes to his knee, trying to go in. A little training. Richie Van Sel's out. Boy, if you're going to get out of the way of a ball, that's how you do it. And you just turn away from it. You can see the eye. He's not up and in, but boy, he just misses his spot, and you can see him go down. When you're pitching, yeah, you want to be able to move the ball around, but the last thing you want to do is seriously hurt somebody. So that's what I'm talking about. Just kind of rolls with it, and he gets high up on the helmet. And I think the precaution is that Ryan Flaherty is going to leave the game. And there is no reason to take any kind of chance. You're at home, and you got a bench full of players.
Jason Nix is going to pinch run coming off the bench. So the Orioles get their third base runner on the hit batsman. And now Jason Nix will take over. Dunsing had retired the Orioles in order in his first inning in the 5th, and here's Alejandro Diaz slapping it to left field. And Rosario's there. Gets over his head and goes all the way to the wall. Nicks his head heading to third. He's held there by Bobby Dickerson. And Alejandro Diaz going with the wind. It got up over the head of Rosario for a double.
Yeah, if you don't play it the right way off the bat, and that's what happens with Eddie Rosario. I mean, he takes a step in. Right here, you see the end result. Wind just kind of gusted right over his head. And Nicks easily, with the play in front of him, goes all the way to third. Well, there is nothing tougher for an outfielder than a live drive right at you on a windy day.
J.J. Hardy 0 for 2. He is 5 for 20 on the spring, so 250 batting average for the O's. Several defensive changes. Hicks out of the game. That's Eric Ferris. He is now in center field. Jose Martinez is now at third base. Doug Bernier is the new shortstop. James Beresford is the new second baseman. And Dan Rolfing is the new first baseman. Comes on for Vargas.
You got all this? Good.
Now, we don't know where they're batting necessarily. Because they don't always do it player for player. So we'll have their names on that side as they come to the court. 1-1 on Hardy. Minnesota trying to stretch out Dunsing here to his second inning. Towards the middle, and there's a base hit for J.J. Hardy. Nicks will score. Diaz coming to the plate. He will score. And the Orioles chip away at it, now 10-3, as Hardy picks up RBIs 2 and 3 on the spring.
Yeah, well, you have an option. You can either not get him in or you can. And of course, it's nothing new. You get certain situations. Get him in, man on third. How do you do it? Orioles didn't do it that well last year. But they do it this time as J.J. Hardy takes it right back up the middle. And that's pretty much the way you have to hit off of Brian Dunsing. His changeup is so good, you have to use the whole field. And so there is Flaherty. Brian going down to certainly change well. And they'll do all the concussion protocols.
There's still nobody out. 2 runs in. Chris Davis now. Ground ball sharply hit foul down the line. Well, Chris Davis trying to use all the fields. He did that in the first inning.
Yeah, just flicks it. 2 strikes, fly ball right down the line. Kind of a harbinger for what was going to come today on balls up the middle.
The last 3 years, only Miguel Cabrera has hit more home runs than Chris Davis. Chris and Edwin Encarnacion with 112. Giancarlo Stanton, 98. Bounce weakly to first. Rolfing knocks it down. Turns, throws to first, and Dunsing somehow finds the bag.
Well, what do they do on St. Patrick's Day? They do a little bit of a dance for a lot of people. And that's exactly
the Irish jig.
Yeah, right here. Brian Dunsing, you're getting over. Ideally, you'd like to get there, know where the base is. I'm not sure he does, but then he, I don't know how many times. He might have tagged it 2 or 3 times.
Look at this. Brian heading out towards the clubhouse. Doesn't seem in too much of a hurry. Stopping to exchange pleasantries. Adam Jones with an RBI chance as Dariel Alvarez, the pinch runner for Hardy, now at second base. Good take. Adam has bounced to third and flied out to right. Hughes went 4 innings, allowed 1 run on 1 hit, the Davis home run. And he only walked a batter, so in 4 innings he allowed just 2 base runners. Dunsing had a 3-up, 3-down 5th, but he's scuffling a little bit here in the 6th, maybe unnerved by hitting Flaherty in the head.
Yeah, and then his left fielder misplayed a, I mean, not that the ball wasn't hit hard. Diaz has hit the ball hard 3 times today, but it went over his head. And they're trying to make it 10-5. Adam with yet to hit a home run in the spring.
Well, the Orioles scoring 16 runs yesterday at Clearwater, hitting 5 home runs. They had scored a total of 15 runs combined over the prior 8 games.
Well, for the first, 14 games, 2.79 runs per game. And of course, that's not your A lineup. It's not for 9 innings.
Check swing, and he did check. Here's what the O's have done. 3 runs or less in 10 of the 15 games. Yesterday, 16 runs, 21 hits, both spring training highs, and so far 3 runs on the board here today.
And they did it off Cole Hamels. He started for the Phillies with a lot of scouts sitting in the stands.
And Adam takes a walk. Nice patient at bat for Adam.
Not exactly what you want to do when you waltzed into this inning with a 10-1 lead for Brian Dudson. Pinto's going to come out and have a little conversation. He's very much like T.J. McFarland when he's pitching well. He can sink it. He can, get you out in front. So he's looking for a ground ball at somebody. And the Orioles are looking for more offense.
So there's Adam Jones at first, Alvarez at second. Henry Urrutia had come out of the dugout heading towards first base to pinch run for Adam Jones. As Wieters pops it up, shallow right. There's Robinson battling the wind. He has it for the out and 2 down. And Adam waved Henry back to the bench, and he gestured. He said, no, I want to run the bases. I got to get this working. And here's Paul Molitor coming out now. So Adam wanting to get the work in. Smiling with Wayne Kirby looking back at Henry Urrutia on the bench. So we'll have a pitching change here as Dunsing has reached his pitch limit. There's Henry hoping to get into the game. The right-hander comes on after Dunsing goes an inning and 2/3 and reaches his pitch limit. A couple of games in the spring. No runs allowed over 3 innings on just 1 hit. 4 Ks to no walks. That's a good ratio. He's 28 years old. Drafted by the Twins in 07 and left the organization. Now back with Minnesota. Spent some time with Texas before coming back to the Twins.
Yeah, the Astros. So he's been around.
Manny Machado will bat with 2 on and 2 down. And a couple of runs in for the Orioles. Dario Alvarez, the lead runner. Adam Jones, the trail runner at first. And he has struck out and flied out. He is 6 for 25 in the spring games. Hamburger misses low. Hamburger in his career, 258 games in the minors, 5 games in the majors. High fly ball to left. Rosario battling that some with the sunglasses down, has it for the out in the inning end. So 2 runs in, 2 left. We're through 6. 10-3 Minnesota. Minnesota with the home run ball. 4 home runs, a grand slam, a 3-run shot, a 2-run shot, and a solo shot. They've hit for the cycle with their home runs. And here's Darren O'Day, Jim, coming up.
Well, again, pretty typical. He had such a great year for the Orioles last year, did everything, multiple innings. 2 years ago, struggled against left-handed hitters. Last year, they were under 200. Working on a changeup, something that he worked with Todd Froworth, an Orioles scout, used to a submariner. They worked on it. Feels a little more comfortable, different grip this year. And again, if you do have a really good slider, a good sinker, rising fastball, when do you throw that third pitch? That'll be something he'll have to decide. But what a marvelous job he did for the Orioles since they acquired him from the Rangers.
Several defensive changes. Dariel Alvarez is now in the game in center field in place of Adam Jones. Henry Urrutia does get in the game. He's now in right field. Jimmy Paredes is now at third base. Ozzie Martinez is now at shortstop. Jason Nix is now at second base. And there is Chris Parmelee, who is now at first base. We also have a new catcher. Steve Clevenger is behind the plate, replacing Matt Wieters, who, catching for the first time this spring, goes 6 innings behind the plate. And there's Matt on the bench. This is Jose Martinez batting, slicing down the right field line. A long run for Urrutia, and he glides to it and has it for the out, 1 away.
Yeah, tremendously. Runs pretty well. Big guy. Long stride. Got to it easily. And again, the wind blowing. Very bright and gusty day here in Sarasota.
Eddie Rosario is still in the game. He's had a good day. Tripled and scored, singled and scored. He had the key at bat against Bud Norris, as Bud told us in our chat. As Bud was working on the changeups, and he was throwing very good changeups, and Rosario kept fouling them off.
Yeah, it really wasn't like it was a mistake. I think maybe, as he said, maybe he would have gone to something else. Maybe a little different sequence. But he went down and hooked it into the right field corner. And kind of, with 2 outs, set up the inning. And then Nunez would hit a pretty routine fly ball, but blew right out of here.
So with the numerous changes here in this inning, David Lowe is the lone remaining starter still in the game. David is in left field. And appreciating the playing time. He's fighting for a spot. There's a tremendous buzz in this camp for Dariel Alvarez. Every time he gets into a game, seems to do something to impress. And Buck Showalter's pregame session with the media, several out-of-town writers in town to watch the Orioles asking all about Alvarez and how soon he'll be here. And Buck never commits to any kind of a timetable, but he said he's going to help us. When that is, who knows? Big chopper to first, nicely played by Parmelee. We'll get the easy out, 2 men down.
Well, out of Cuba, and probably has the best arm, at least throwing arm from the outfield in camp. Home run yesterday. You know, really, when you look at him, he looks, I mean, when he swings the bat, a little bit like Nick Markakis. And if you go back when Nick's first year in the big leagues, struggled the first 2 months, and then something clicked. And it clicked for about the next 8.5 years.
I don't think he'll be wearing number 79 too much longer. Of course, if he's on the team, that means somebody else isn't. And that's where the dilemma is. How do you get Alvarez on the team, and in what situation does he arrive?
Well, Mike Bartica, when I came over to do the first game, he said, I've never seen so much talent. Because not only does Mike broadcast, he also helps out as kind of a coach, so to speak. Works with all kinds of people, so it's not a bad problem to have.
Right.
You know, and he does have options, and you can always send him down. We'll get a few more at-bats, maybe more at AAA level, and then see how he does. And it's a nice luxury to have. It's nice to have people that actually, when they come up, they earn their way up again, not because somebody else is not playing well at this level. Saw that for enough years.
Well, the AAA pitching staff, Tim Berry may be there, Tyler Wilson may be there, Mike Wright may be there. There's a liner to left. David Lowe will play the hop, so a 2-out base hit. Well, Steve Johnson's in camp, coming back from the shoulder surgery. He's trying to gain strength. He'll likely be on that AAA team. Well, there's going to be some real good pitching in the Orioles minor leagues. Yesterday, Hunter Harvey and Dylan Bundy were sent down. Dylan was optioned to Bowie, and Hunter sent over to the minor league camp. Pretty good chance he'll be at Frederick, which would be the next step up for him after pitching so well at Delmarva last year. And Buck keeps saying he's got a chance to help us this year. I mean, here's a kid who's 20, who's an A-ball, and the Orioles are already looking at, all right, how do we keep the innings to a point where late in the year, if we need him, he's there? So again,
well, he can pretty much do what Dylan Bundy did when they brought him up 3 years ago in the bullpen. And you never know, September. You can always use extra arms.
In some of those lean years over in Fort Lauderdale, as the games would progress, there would always be wonder, well, who's going to be the 4th starter? Who's going to be the 5th starter? Where are the Orioles going to find a pitcher? It's not the case anymore.
Well, you're still wondering who the 5 starters are going to be, but you're going to pick from 6 guys, hopefully. Ubaldo Jimenez. Saw him throw yesterday, much better windup. So he's going to have probably, 3-4 more starts. See where he fits in.
I saw you sneak over to the bullpen area when he did a side session.
Well, what I like, Dave Wallace would come over, but also Ramon Martinez.
Yeah, I met him yesterday.
Yeah,
real nice guy.
Yeah, and terrific major league pitcher. And Buck Showalter was talking about is a lot of times, the slang words that one Dominican might say to another might click.
And there's a strikeout as Pinto goes down and O'Day works out of it. 2-out hit, the man left. 7th inning stretch. When we come back, Bob Ehrlich will join us. Well, defensively, a successful return to Matt Wieters behind the plate as he got through 6 innings, catching 6, leaving with T.J. McFarland down the right field line. And welcome into our broadcast booth. And you never know who you're going to run into in spring training. Former Governor Robert Ehrlich, Bob Ehrlich. Here's his son, Josh. How are you, Governor?
How are you?
We're doing great.
You,
yeah.
It's spring training, and we're out of winter in Baltimore.
Man, I'm telling you, it's been a long winter. It's good to see you guys.
Now, what has this been like for you, the run the Orioles have been on the last 3 years, being a lifelong Orioles fan?
We remember, the glory days when we struggled to draw 1 million people in the old stadium.
1,200,000.
1,200,000, yeah. 1,200,000 is a big year, and obviously the down years, and just see the excitement in the town. And the fact of it is, it's always been a baseball, football town.
Right.
And it's always a cold town. Now it's a Raven town. And it's an Orioles town again. And,
yes.
and it's really neat to see. And obviously having an 11-year-old. and Drew now is a sophomore playing for Gilman, playing for Coach Sheets, by the way.
Wow.
Mr. Palmer.
Larry Sheets.
Yeah, tough coach. In fact, I was in Charlotte yesterday with Gilman, and they won 13-4. So Coach Sheets had a good first game this year.
Yeah, we saw Larry at FanFest.
Yeah.
He's very prominent.
He's a terrific coach. Had a great program.
Snyder to center field, and a diving try. Nope, he trapped it. Nice effort there by Ferris, but on at first with a single is Travis Snyder.
So your son, actually, you try to explain to people. I mean, I played, really kind of through the really great days where, 6 World Series, and I saw Frank Robinson over. So how do you explain to your son, now the Orioles are getting back to the way the Orioles played before the 14 consecutive losing?
And there was an Orioles way.
Yeah,
and now it's
exactly.
back, right?
Yeah. Well, it really is.
And it's neat to see the fundamentals and a beloved manager now who has great respect, very popular with the fans.
David Lowe slices it foul.
It's funny, you look back at, go back and you look at Phil Regan, and you look, Davey Johnson won in 96 and 97. Then Ray Miller. Then we had
Mike
Hargrove for about, 4 years. Then there was Mazzilli. Then there was Palazzo. Then there was Dave Tremblay. They liked them all. Yeah, they liked them all, but they would have liked them more if they won.
Right.
It's so funny how life is. Politics is kind of like that, too.
That's where I was going.
A little front running there.
So what were you doing when they built Camden Yards?
When they built Camden Yards?
Where were you in your political or your life?
Oh, geez. I was in...
Do I have to give you a year?
93?
93. I was just running for Congress. Yeah, I was in the state legislature.
How'd it go?
Went pretty well. Won that first race. You know that. You're my constituent, Jeff.
David Lowe with a base hit. Back-to-back singles to begin the 7th inning.
But it's, to have a kid Josh's age, he knows who you are, obviously, because he heard us talk about it.
Don't know who I used to be.
But, now it's who you are.
That's important.
But, and now to see his brother obviously playing high school, and he's a good player. But to see the kids identify with this team now and the players, it's neat.
There's Nolan Reimold. He'll come out and pinch run for David Lowe and stay in the game in left field.
And you guys were beloved, but you're even more beloved because of all those bad years.
Well, yeah, but we didn't really want that, of course.
I know that wasn't designed, but
Jason Nix batting for a first time. Well, the Orioles have won at winning seasons now 3 consecutive years. 2 of those years playoff years. It's the first time since 1982 to 85, they've had at least 3 straight winning seasons. That's how long it's been, and that was a 4-year run. And all indications are that this team should again contend for the division title. And Nix looks it over and takes low ball 2.
I got to ask the Hall of Fame pitcher here, by the way. Obviously, in the high school baseball now with Drew, and the pitching is so much better than when I played. The kids, I know Tommy John and all this, but Jim, you see these 13, 14-year-old kids and rear them back, and it's. I think I understand now why we see so much Tommy John surgery.
Well, that, and also, we were talking in the press room about how actually you'd like to encourage, and I did it. I played football season, play basketball season. You're resting your arms. You get bigger, stronger, smarter. You go through wins and losses and all that. So
I love hearing you say that, and I know Buck is a big proponent of the 3-sport kid.
Yes.
I coached, Chris Wallstead played with the Marlins. The Orioles actually passed on him, but, he turned out to be 6'8", got $1.8 million to sign. In fact, three of my little leaguers got over $1 million, and all you try to do
Did you get a cut?
No, I didn't. I didn't even get a phone call. You try to encourage them to play other sports because you want to. I mean, very much what Cal Ripken Sr. told me: have fun, have a passion, try to get a little bit better.
And with the arms, the overuse of the arms is just crazy to me. Seeing these kids in these camps.
And then take the radar gun and kind of lose it, especially at young age, because it doesn't really matter.
Well, that's one of the theories. You know, you mentioned the camps, and a lot of these kids are playing year-round, and it's just too much throwing.
It's too much throwing, right?
Well, it's too much throwing under stress. Yeah, that's, I think, a lot of the orthopedics are talking about.
And you go in these profiles,
They said next, that's going to fall to center field. Snyder will be held at third, and 3 consecutive singles have loaded the bases against Hamburg.
Yeah, this is kind of like the old games we used to play in Fenway, where you look at the scoreboard, you're down by 7, the wind's blowing out, and you're going, this game's not over. I mean, this ball dumped into center. But again, what are you trying to do? You're trying to make contact, not trying to strike out, not trying to roll over. And how do you do that? You use the middle of the field. Well, we've seen the Twins do it all day long. Looks like Neil Allen, who took over actually in the Orioles organization. He's a very good reliever for the Mets. So he comes on. So what brings you to Sarasota? Other than
give them some speeches down here.
Oh, really?
Actually, give them some political speeches down here in the area. Got three today. And I thought we'd work in an Orioles game. We have not been here. Kendall's downstairs. We have Josh with us, and Drew's in North Carolina with Gilman. So what a facility, my Lord.
How often, with all you do running around giving speeches, how often do you actually get to go to a game at Camden Yards and enjoy it?
A couple times a year. Mr. Angelos is...
Here's Clevenger to first. That's a fair ball. And a step on the bag, an RBI for Clevenger on that bouncer as Snyder scores. So it's 10-4.
Mount St. Joe boy.
He knows the players. I like it. Impressed.
In any event, a couple times a year, we take the family and my mom and dad, and Mr. Angelos gives us those great seats behind home plate, and we have a ball. Everybody wants to talk politics. I don't want to talk politics. I want to watch the games. And a couple times I brought Giuliani,
Oh, yeah.
So, it's always a Yankee game. And
of course.
We have a ball.
You might want to maybe get arm's length.
That's my buddy. I didn't talk about my buddy.
Oh, I know. Well, I'm not talking about him.
He says what he thinks.
Oh, apparently so.
That's why he's such a successful mayor.
Yeah, well, I'll give him a A+ on what he did after 9/11.
Yeah, it was a crazy time. But going down with him to the Yankee Orioles games and sitting behind the plate, he really is obviously universally recognized. It's fun with the Yankee fans down there.
Alvarez to third, sharply hit. Love there by Martinez. He'll take the sure out of first with a big lead. Coming in to score is Reimold.
Oh, there you go.
10-5.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite stories, Rudy's mom used to sit behind Yankee Stadium. And, in fact, the former Twin who signed as a free agent with the Yankees, Chuck Knobloch, had that kind of, what did we call it, the yips, when he was playing second. And Rudy actually got his mom a batting helmet because he kept lobbing it over the first baseman's head. And he was afraid his mom was going to get hit in the head.
Well, he is a Yankees fan. He's got the whole farm system down, and you play golf with him. He has that Yankee crying towel, which I hate to see.
Well, Bob, I rooted for the Yankees the first 18 years of my life. And when I got in the Hall of Fame, I said, I guess it proves I'm not perfect. I'm never too old to get over it.
Now, when you go to the games, as much as you love baseball, do you keep score?
I don't. I really try to enjoy the games and not get involved in political discussions.
Right.
Somebody wants to talk sports, it's great. People are very nice, obviously.
Yeah, do you know how to keep score?
Are you kidding me? Baseball family, man.
Well, see, if you keep score, then they'd leave you alone. That's the point. Enjoy the game.
But then you get a bad rap, and or like you don't talk to anybody. It's pain in the butt.
All you got to do is follow the Hoffer around. He mingles.
Yeah, your voice is. You did 3 speeches, and your voice is better than mine. I did a game with John Miller where the Vice President Dan Quayle came in, and John looked at me and said, "Have you ever, Mr. Vice President, have you ever kept score?" And he said, "No." He said, "Well, today's as good as ever." And then he left the booth.
It sounds like that.
So I mean, it gets better because Randy Milliken was converted first baseman, and somebody hits a fly ball, and he kind of stumbles over it because he's just learning how to play left field. And He goes routine fly to left. I said, there is no such thing. And then somebody pops up to Cal Jr., and I said, that's a routine pop-up.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Gets away from Pinto all the way back to the screen.
We got to get Cal back to the Gilman games now. Ryan's graduated.
Wild pitch sending Nix to third.
And here comes Paul Molitor. I think the pitch count again has been reached.
Hamburger struggling. Dunsing struggled in his second inning of work. Same thing here with Hamburger. And we're going to have a pitching change. Well, Governor, it's always great to see you. We're glad you stopped by to hang with the little people up here in the booth.
Josh Ehrlich's having a ball, let me tell you. Now we're going to put a hot dog down here.
There you go. It's great to see you, Governor. Bob Ehrlich joins us for a pitching change here in Sarasota. Right-hander Michael Tonkin comes on in relief of Hamburger, who leaves after one inning, is allowed 2 runs and exits with 2 men on.
Yeah, there are the numbers for Tonkin. Another guy that has tremendous height, 6'7". Last year with the Twins in 19 innings, 23 hits, ERA, a little under 5 runs a game. Another opportunity. He's trying to get out of the 7th for the Twins. 9-1 is now, or 10-1 is now 10-5.
Jimmy Paredes will bat for the first time. He's at Adam Jones' spot in the lineup. Urrutia, by the way, on that wild pitch drew a walk, so he's at first.
How about those numbers? 3-run home run yesterday, hit at the left field.
First ball swinging, fouls it back. And that will reach the crowd.
Paredes, switch hitter, aggressive hitter, got some big hits for the Orioles last year. On their way to 96 wins. And if you talk to Bobby Dickerson, the Orioles' third base coach, Mike Bordy talked about it on Saturday. And he's talking about working hard on his defense. Always been able to hit a little bit. And play all over the infield, a little bit of the outfield.
Paredes deep to right field. That ball is hit well towards the corner. That ball is off the glove, and it's in play. 2 runs will score. Paredes is flying around heading to third. What an effort by Shane Robinson to keep it in the ballpark.
Yeah, he went way over the fence.
And now it's being called a home run by the first base umpire. That's Chad Fairchild. And Paul Molitor is going to come out for an explanation. If it didn't hit his glove, maybe it hit that bench out there behind the wall. Let's see.
Yeah, I think it got his glove, and that's not a home run. He just brought it back in. You know, again, I don't think that the umpire actually could see how often the umpire here in Sarasota. What a great effort.
Yeah, Shane Robinson. I think that's a wrong call. That should be.
Well, yeah, again, if this was a season, as you mentioned, no replay in spring training, but that doesn't hit anything. I mean, really in the webbing of the glove, it's almost like a cesta in highlight. And then he flips it back onto the field. Meanwhile, Paredes is flying, as you mentioned, around second into third base. So he hacked at the first fastball and then took a breaking ball, almost hit it out of here. That was one of those balls that actually the wind does knock down. So there, it's in the glove, doesn't hit anything. Now, again, if you're Fairchild, you're running out there.
Yeah, they're going to put it back, so Buck now will come out and say, hey, how can you do that? That's wrong. You called it. Home plate umpire Tim Welke. And Buck is saying, how can you do that? I mean, they did get the call right. Buck is upset at the reversal of the call. But what the umpires did, which you do respect, is they got together to see if somebody had a better view of what Fairchild thought he saw. And Fairchild not even involved in this discussion. John Hirschbeck and Tim Welke, two veteran umpires talking with Buck.
Yeah, I'm trying to, you would think that Fairchild would have had the best angle. But, and Buck's probably saying, okay, which one of you saw it differently? So one of the keys is to get to the wall, and Robinson's able to do that, and then we can certainly see it a lot better because we've seen it now, what, 3-4 times? Umpire doesn't have that opportunity.
So it's a 2-run triple. The Orioles have 4 runs into the inning. And all of a sudden it's 10-7. At one time it was 10-1. Fenway South.
Yeah. Well, that's actually in Fort Myers, right? But
Parmelee's first at bat, he fouls it off.
Well, the Twins certainly know about him because he came up in this organization as a power hitting first baseman.
Tonkin on in relief of Hamburger. All 4 runs this inning charged to Hamburger. Paredes at third. Parmelee at the plate. And a good take on an off-speed pitch. Parmelee's in camp as a non-roster player. He signed a minor league contract. He liked what was going on here in Baltimore, wanted to try to become a part of it. First baseman, can also play right field, left-handed bat, and a very good fielder. Jim mentioned former Twin. He never has had a full season in the major leagues, although he's had 4 seasons with Minnesota sometime in the bigs. But this is another good insurance guy to have in your organization.
And that's really kind of what the offseason was about. You know, have people at AAA, if that's where he ends up, that have experience, can help you defensively. I mean, if you go back to last year, it's almost like everybody just kind of takes Steve Pearce for granted, but he got a chance to play because of the injury to Chris Davis when he had the oblique pull. And then ended up with 21 home runs. Nice little contract this year. And again, if he didn't get the opportunity, even though he was on the ball club. So stockpile your AAA with guys that have experience and can play a little bit. Paredes is certainly one of those guys.
Well, full count on Parmelee, runner at third, 2 down, and there's a walk. What a bat by Parmelee. Very patient. So the Orioles about to bat around as Paul Molitor looks on. So you wanted to be a manager, Paulie. Here's Ozzie Martinez coming up for his first at-bat. He's in Manny Machado's spot. Defensively, he's playing shortstop. Having a good spring, taking advantage of his opportunities when brought over from the minor league camp. And there's a strike. Another of the many many advantages of this facility here is having the minor leaguers, well, maybe 10 miles away, if that. And each day when travel squads are put together or the team playing home, phone call goes over and say, hey, send so-and-so over. These players, we need them today, or have them meet us or come on over and take the bus over.
You know, a lot of times you won't I used to do that when I was 19, go on all the trips. Never missed a road trip that spring. There's a good breaking ball for the strikeout.
And getting it to first for the out, the catcher. So the Orioles get back in it here. Jimmy Paredes nearly hits it out. Robbed by Shane Robinson. The Orioles pull within 3. Beautiful day for baseball at Ed Smith Stadium, mid-80s. Not a cloud in the sky for yet another day, and a pretty good one here. 10-7 game, 20 hits combined. Beautiful palm trees, nice warm temperatures. And a holiday on top of it. St. Patrick's Day here at the ballpark, and there's Wesley Wright conveniently walking into your picture there. He's on the pitch.
Yeah, pretty good spring. Comes over from the Chicago Cubs, where you've got both lefties and righties out. Born in Alabama, but lives up in Tampa, so commutes every day down here to the ballpark in Sarasota.
Shane Robinson, first ball swinging. Paredes was in tight. One pitch, one away.
Yeah, you look at Wesley Wright's numbers with the Cubs. I mean, the record 0-3 last year. Might pitch a lot better than that. A lot of times that's not indicative of how well you're pitching. What I look at, runners in scoring position. A lot of times you'll come in, 7th, 8th inning, runners on, 228. So very low numbers.
And he gets ahead. This is Eric Farris batting for the first time. He's in Aaron Hicks' spot. Sharply hit down the line. That's a fair ball. Reimold now the game in left field will dig it out, and he'll get it back in. There's a double for Farris. But last year, as a Cub, as Reimold gets it back in, Wesley Wright, the righties hit him 264, the lefties 238.
Yeah, not a particularly hard thrower. One of those guys, I guess you would say, is a finesse left-hander.
Doug Bernier now batting for the first time. Near 111 in the spring, as you see. There's a runner at second and one down. Just missing inside. Bernier's been around. He's been in pro ball since 2002. Came up through the Rockies organization. And over to the Phillies. And bouncing around. He's in his 3rd consecutive season in the Minnesota organization. Wesley Wright is the 6th Orioles pitcher in this game. Fastball sails outside, so struggling a little bit with his command.
Yeah, you look at Alvarez in center field and with the wind blowing out, playing really shallow. And you got one of those hitters counts. I mean, anything in the air, probably going to get over his head. So for Wesley, he gets back into the count. Now he's got a changeup, he's got the slider.
3-2 with 1 on and 1 down. Top of the 8th here in Sarasota. Slice foul down the line, heading towards the Orioles bullpen, and bounces over the Orioles bullpen and then bounces back in. And Kirby on the Orioles bench. When the Orioles came out to stretch, and of course he's keeping an eye on Alvarez in center field as the outfield coach. It's about 10 o'clock this morning. Hard hit ball knocked down by Paredes. And he fires not in time. And that's an error on Paredes. And that's the thing about Jimmy. You know he can hit, but can he defend enough to stay on this team?
Yeah, but I was listening to the broadcast, and who would know better than Mike Bordick? I mean, terrific infielder. And he was talking about in spring training, day game, glary, a lot of white jerseys. I don't think he saw that ball. And when he did, he knocked it down. I'm trying to make excuses for him, but I just looked at the reactions. The reactions is the ball just got to him before he saw it. And you'd like to think that's because he didn't see it.
James Beresford batting for the first time. He pinch ran for Dozier in the 6th inning.
Yeah, but that's the one thing. You touched on it. You hate to get labeled. And Jimmy Paredes has been labeled one of those guys better bat than glove. So, along with, the Orioles, like almost all major league teams, they have great coaching staff. That's what spring training is about. Come out, work early, work on your defense.
Well, he has been working. There's no doubt about that. Very, very hard on the defense. And again, the drills that they do, they're somewhat repetitive for the players, but the purpose is that they try to simulate what they might see in the game. As you and I observed yesterday with Mike Bordick in the 3rd baseman. Broken back ground ball. Paredes plays this one, the second one, back to first, and a double play. Nicely turned by Jason Nix up the middle. So 5-4-3 ends it. The broken bat, a double play. Birds down by 3. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Baltimore Orioles and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Baltimore Orioles. So it's a 10-7 game, 21 hits combined, 1 error charged to the Orioles as we play baseball here at Ed Smith Stadium. And there is Chris Herman, who is now in the game for Rosario in left field. And here's J.P. Arancibia, Jim, pinch hitting for Travis Snyder. There's Arancibia in camp on a minor league contract. He's trying to impress and make the team. The opening day roster, one of the reasons why there's so much interest and intrigue in how it may play out is the Orioles still don't know. They hope that Matt Wieters will be the catcher on opening day, but Buck has said that if he's not ready to catch an opening day, he will stay behind and be DL, and then he'll come up when he's ready. So that means if Matt is not on the opening day roster, somebody else has to be another catcher.
Yeah, and J.P. Arancibia is here. Steve Clevenger is here. I think another name that doesn't get a lot of, and we saw him, at least in my game, he threw out a runner, was Ryan LeBarnett, who has a lot of experience coming out of the Red Sox organization. So JB down there, so there they are. And if you look at Joseph, he did a terrific job last year defensively, threw out 40% of the runners. Maybe, at least in my mind, and I think in talking to a lot of the Oriole coaches, he proved that he can play defensively at the big leagues. Had a very low ERA when he caught. And he won't take credit for all of it, but that has something to do with it. And then LeBron Way, I think you go back, 3 years ago, you go, it's just a guy that hits home runs, but pretty good defensive catcher.
Now, Caleb last year gunned down 40% of the potential base stealers. He caught 23. 34 did successfully make it, but that's amazing, 40%. Now, if Matt, which is the preferred opening day roster, Matt behind the plate and catching on opening day, so that would leave one other catcher. Buck did say before the game today, he was asked, would you consider 3 catchers on the opening day roster? And he said, no, it's going to be 2, but which 2? So if Matt is healthy, is it Matt and Caleb? Does somebody else win that backup job? Or if Matt isn't there, is it Caleb and whomever? So it still all has to be determined. And what the Orioles hope is that Matt will be well enough to play. And even if they give him a few extra days off from catching early in the season just to rest him up a little bit.
Well, that's why, Caleb, he's tried to, and there's Steve Clevenger, but Caleb's tried to change his stroke a little bit.
Raimel gets a base hit.
But I look at this kid right here. Maybe he's not a kid anymore, but in my mind, because he's he had the Achilles, he had the cervical problem. I played on a team where you had John Lowenstein, a left-handed guy, and then you had Gary Renicky, and they were one heck of a platoon. And I am seeing a lot of things that I saw 3-4 years ago this spring with Nolan Raimel, because he's healthy.
Now 31?
Yeah, he's 31, but he just seems that, and I was chiseling on his bat today, and I said, boy, it's nice to see you doing that instead of being in the training room. And he kind of smiled. So kind of a dark horse, so to speak.
And he got his old uniform number back, number 14. His last game with the Orioles, July 13th, 2013. This last year was with the Orioles in AAA, trying to work his way back. They needed a roster spot. They tried to get him through waivers. July the 6th, he was claimed by Toronto. They tried to get him through waivers, and then August 28th, he went to Arizona. So he did have some time in the big leagues last year, but as Jim pointed out, the difference this year is he's Nolan Raimel. He's healthy. Nick chops it into the ground.
Yeah, I don't think that not only do the Orioles understand that, but all the scouts that come out to the game. So everybody's looking to upgrade your roster.
Now, the one big advantage the Orioles have is Nolan can be sent to the minor leagues because he is in camp on a minor league deal. And that's protection for the club and in some ways protection for Nolan to remain in the organization, which is why he re-signed here. You go to AAA and you keep getting at bats and you get more and more of that rust off.
And anytime if you looked at Nick Markakis, it really didn't matter if you're right-handed or left-handed. You knew he could hang in against lefties. So now all of a sudden you're going to have to replace him. Is it going to be Platoon? Is it going to be Travis Snyder? That's something you determine here during the spring training game.
Reimold runs, pitches in the dirt all the way back to the screen, so that'll be a stolen base. And that's the other aspect of his game that he brings, the good speed and the good base runner. Reimold played yesterday in Homer.
Yeah, he's just going and breaking ball in the dirt. No chance of blocking it. You don't pay attention, why not take the base? So he can do that for you.
Tyler Grimes is now the catcher, and that one he had no chance on. The runner at second base and one down. The other intriguing thing about Reimold, Jim, and you mentioned it, is the right-handed bat part of this. Popped up to second. Beresford is there, and he drops the ball. Misplayed it and drops it.
Yeah, looked into the sun, looked at his glove. Either way, again, on a windy day, pretty routine, other than the conditions.
And that brings the tying run to the plate here in the eighth. The Orioles have Reimold on, and Jason Nix now on. Clevenger drove in a run on the first pitch he saw in his first at-bat in the seventh inning. And he fouls it back. Alejandro Diaz says he can play all three outfield positions, and he actually told me before the game he doesn't care which one. He said, if I'm in the lineup, it doesn't matter. I just want to play. So put me in left, put me in center, put me right, it doesn't matter.
And he also said he can hit left-handed pitching. It's something he didn't do very well last year, but the year before hit over 300. Because they platooned him, didn't get to him. And of course, Travis Snyder went through this.
Same thing.
Travis Snyder hit 381 against lefties last year.
And he can play left and right. David Lowe plays all three. But they're all left-handed batters.
But then you get Nolan Reimold with, again, if he's healthy, home run power, double extra base power.
There's a base hit to left center field for Clevenger. And that's going to split the gap and get to the wall. Reimold will score. Nix is flying around third. He will come to the plate and score. And it's a one-run game in Sarasota. Clevenger off the bench with 3 RBIs.
Yeah, we talked about it early in the game. The Twins did a great job of working the count, getting balls up in the zone, and Steve Clevenger does exactly that. And that's a breaking ball, maybe a change-up right down the middle. And then he uses the whole field, shoots it in the left center field. So not only he drives in the runs, he's trying to run now at second base.
And Clevenger, he feels good about it. Every opportunity to impress the brain trust, critical for the guys on the fringe, trying to make this team. Ariel Alvarez will take a strike. It was once 10-1. It is now 10-9, and there's number 9 on the bench with the skipper, Brady Anderson. Alvarez grounded out his first at-bat, but drove in a run. Fouls it back. Well, if you're trying to impress to stick on the team, that's how you do it. Produce.
Yeah, but if you're a catcher, it has to be more than with the at bat. I mean, that's the one criteria that we saw with Caleb Joseph last year. If he was going to make the club, he had to catch well, learn the nuances. And it's not only how you receive the ball, whether you can throw. It's as the game progresses, as a catcher, can you stay with it? And Caleb can do it. Steve Clevenger's still working on doing it. No doubt they can hit. Always been able to hit.
Outside, good take, 2-2. Well, with Clevenger, when he was coming up through high school at Mount St. Joseph, Baltimore, he was their shortstop. He was, that's generally on the high school team the best player at shortstop. And it was only after being drafted by and signing with the Cubs that was he converted to a catcher. 2-2 on Alvarez. Big chopper to shortstop. Glove there by Bernier, and he fires across to get Dario Alvarez for the second out. So the tying run goes to third with 2 men down. But Stevie says he's also played third before, did so coming up through the minors, and he could play first base as well. There's Paul Molitor as Tonkin reaches his pitch limit. The error has hurt Minnesota in this inning. Inning should be over. Instead, 2 runs in. And a man on with 2 men down. So pitching change at Sarasota in a 10-9 game. For Paul Molitor and the Twins, he is the 5th pitcher used. Each of the relievers used in this game, Dunsing, Hamburger, and Tonkin, all got in trouble in their second inning of work, although the error, the big reason here. So here's Boyer coming on, Jim, with 1 on and 2 down.
Yeah, last year with the Padres, so they not only signed a minor league deal, they invite him to spring training. And he has a chance to impress his manager. Paul Molitor, in his first year managing a major league team, learning we can get holds, but can we keep them?
Remember Urrutia, a chance to tie it. Urrutia now 28 years old. It's his 3rd professional season. He did play briefly with the Orioles in 2012 in the majors. Made his debut just after the All-Star break in Texas.
Yeah, had the amazing ability, again, coming out of Cuba to hit the ball to the left side, bigger, stronger. Really worked hard on his conditioning.
He had 16 hits in 2012. And a good take there. 15 of those were singles.
Yeah, and they were, a lot of them, bouncers. They play him up the middle, but, you know, typically you play him pretty much straight away. You know, shortstop playing maybe 2 steps up the middle. So there's a big hole at shortstop.
And swings through it, trying to hit it out, it looked like.
Yeah, well, he's trying to make contact at 93, pretty much in the middle of the plate, but he does swing through it. So there's your good pitch to hit. Now let's see if Boyer will go to an off-speed pitch, even though usually when a guy's late in a hitter's count, you trust your fastball.
Bouncer off the glove towards short. Glove there by Bernier, and he gets it to first to get Urrutia. So the glove of Boyer may have saved a run and stranded at third the tying run. We'll head to the 9th. All of a sudden, it's a 1-run game. A 10-9 game. The Orioles have scored 8 unanswered runs to pull within 1. Wesley Wright pitched in the 8th inning, did not allow a run, and nice enough to join us now. Wesley, in your first year in camp with the Orioles, how are you enjoying your time here with the Birds?
So far, it's been great. The guys have been really welcoming to me and just made me feel like I've been a part of this team for the last couple of years. So it's been really good. Buck and the rest of the staff do a great job of getting guys ready to go and give you a good heads up of what you expect that day. So it's been really good.
I was looking at some of your numbers, and I'm looking early on in your career, more of a fly ball pitcher now. Is there some reason you're throwing a lot? You almost threw 2-to-1 ground balls to fly balls last year.
Well, I've just really been trying to pound the bottom of the zone. I've learned that not many balls roll out of the ballpark. And, early on in my career in Houston, playing with the Crawford boxes there in left field, you get burned by some fly balls at times. So I've really tried to focus on just working the bottom of the zone.
Have you ever been to Camden Yards?
I have. I've actually given up a home run in Camden Yards.
Throw that grounder.
Definitely. It was one of those ones that kind of slipped up in the zone. I think Weeders actually got me for one. So luckily he's on my team now, so I won't have to face him.
Wesley, what style of a reliever, as Tim Berry comes on to work the 9th here, would you describe yourself? We hear, there's left-handed specialist, there's the one-batter guy, there's maybe the inning and 2/3 to 2 innings guy. What style or what type of reliever would you say you are?
I think I'm a little bit of all those things you described. I think it just depends on the game and what's needed. Whatever Buck feels that I can come in and do at that moment. But I've done a little bit of everything in my career. I've had a few starts, pitched one batter late in the game and came in the 3rd or 4th inning. So I'm pretty versatile. I think I'm a guy that, you can put me out there to face some righties as well as some lefties, and I'll do my best to give the team a chance to stay in the ball game or to hold the lead.
Now, you're 30 years old. You signed here as a free agent. I'm sure you had other opportunities. Why did you pick Baltimore?
A chance to win. Most of my career, I haven't had that opportunity. I got a taste of it in Tampa when I was traded over there from Houston. But the opportunity to be on a winning team from day one, a team that expects to be playing deep into the postseason, was something that I really wanted an opportunity at. And, the tradition here and the winning ways and the way Buck handles the bullpen was appealing for them.
Fly ball towards center field off the bat of Rolfing. And in on is Alvarez for the out, so 1 away.
Well, I'm really looking forward to watching you. I only do half the games, but be careful on that commute back to Tampa.
I will. Today should be a little hectic, but I'll take my time and enjoy the drive.
Well, Wesley, we appreciate the visit. Congratulations, and welcome to Baltimore. I'm sure you're going to love your experience there.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Okay, that's Wesley Wright, who got out of that jam in the 8th inning with a double play, a jam that was in part created by an error, but then a double play got him out of it.
Well, you look at the scoreboard, and those were some big outs. How about Tim Berry hitting 95?
Here's a chopper foul. Berry, one of the top prospects in the Orioles system. Will likely be in the AAA rotation to start. A 50th round draft pick, and he's on the 40-man roster.
Yeah, but he's got an arm, and he's got a pretty good changeup, working on the curveball. Understands, I think, is the more innings he gets, that it really comes with that pitch right there, 94 down and away. A long changeup with it. Use your curveball, judiciously. I don't know if he knows that word, but
Dave Austin.
Dom Chidi on the right, Dave Austin on the left. You gotta like left-handed with the kind of stuff that he has, getting bigger, stronger, smarter.
Well, one of the things about Berry, so impressive last year, when he was sent to AA Bowie to begin the year, he was told by the organization, you need to improve your changeup. You need to work on the changeup. And he would throw the changeup sometimes in counts where it wasn't called for, and he would give up some base hits. But he knew he had to work on it, and as the year went on, it became a more effective pitch for him. But it takes something. And you know what happens in AA? You throw a changeup, it speeds up the bat. But he was able to work on it.
Yeah, that's really what Bud Norris talked about it today. More changeups. Got hurt on one, even though it wasn't a bad pitch. Just Rosario's saw, about 3-4 of them. So it's all part of the process. If you're Tim Berry, where you have a good arm. In fact, he didn't throw 95 last year.
I didn't remember.
So he's gotten bigger, a little bit stronger, older. Boy, you just look at him and you say, you know what? All he has to do with this kind of stuff is stay healthy and work on his command.
Another guy that came through the system. This ball's lifted towards left and gets on through. So it was sliced by Chris Herman for a 2-out single.
Yeah, Herman, who we talked about it, he can catch, he can play the outfield. do a lot of things. And now I guess he can hit lefties.
And we're going to get a pinch hitter here for Eduardo Nunez. It'll be Stephen Wickens coming on. Nunez had a good day today. He was 3 for 4, including a 2-run home run. A little bit low at 93. Just off the plate. Pretty impressed with the approach of a lot of these Twins hitters and even the minor leaguers. Very, very patient.
Yeah, you know, if he used to always talk to Rick Anderson, who was the pitching coach with Ron Gardenhire for about 11 years, I think, maybe longer, 13 years. They'd always talk about throwing strikes. Now, of course, if you talk to Paul Molitor, who's now going to manage for the first time, Tom Bernansky, they're going to say, big ballpark, if you're a hitter, you got to use the whole field. And, you know, I think one of the guys we talked about today and probably pivotal to this team is Joe Mauer. You know, signed through 2018, a lot of money each year. That's him coming in and ends up plunking them.
Right in the backside.
Yeah, he doesn't know which way to go.
So Berry, after retiring the first 2, has allowed a single and hit a batter, and now 2 on and 2 out for the catcher Tyler Grimes coming up against Berry.
Now, you mentioned a 50th round. That's mainly because Tim Berry had Tommy John surgery. Went to school in San Diego.
At FanFest, and Dave Wallace is going to come out to talk to Tim Berry. One of the forums on stage with the fans, it was really a lot of fun. With Tim Berry up there, Dylan Bundy, Mike Wright, Christian Walker, all up on stage at the same time talking about getting to the big leagues and what it might take, and also Tyler Wilson was the 5th, and it really was a lot of fun to hear. And what struck me, Jim, to a man, is the confidence that they have in their ability and the opportunities that they've been given to take it to the next level.
Well, a lot of that has to do with your coaching staff and your minor league organization, where they encourage you. It's not that they inflate your ego, but they tell you, hey, you can do this, you need to do that.
Throw behind the runner and getting back in. Better throw might have had him, but it bounced.
A nice approach right there, trying to get out of the inning without having to get the batter out.
Quick snap throw by Clevenger.
Yeah. Boy, that's what he's known for. That quick release. You're right. Ball in the air. Barkley makes a nice play not to keep it from going down the right field line.
And there's a strike. After 6 in a row out of the zone, he gets one in there. Two on and 2 out in the ninth in a 1-run game. Broken back ground ball slowly at the 3rd. Paredes, good job concentrating with the runner jumping over the ball, and the inning ends. We'll head to the bottom of the ninth. The Birds coming to bat, down by a run. Now back here in Sarasota, 10-9 game as we go to the bottom of the ninth. It was 10-1 at one point, and the Orioles have scored 8 unanswered runs. So the Birds looking to scratch across a couple and walk this one off as Boyer stays on. He came on and got the final out in the 8th with the tying run in scoring position at third base, and he'll go against Jimmy Paredes, who tripled and drove in 2 runs in his first at-bat in the game in the 7th. So the Orioles showing some spunk here, not just backing down after falling behind 10-1.
Oh, that kind of day. Of course, you're coming off, as we mentioned, 5 home runs, 21 hits, 14 runs. Great day to hit today with the wind blowing out. So let's see if Blaine Boyer paid attention. That almost home run by Paredes was a breaking ball. So got out of the last inning, throwing 92, 93.
Paredes is in Adam Jones' spot in the batting order. Not a bad idea. Bunt and get on, get the winning run to the plate.
Yeah, the idea of doing that early in the count is to bring the third baseman in, and that's exactly what it's going to do. Chances of, when you do it early in the count, of hitting it by him certainly enhanced.
Low, good take. He looked it right into the glove and then looked up at Tim Welke.
Well, Tim Welke, my right hand almost went up.
Did I see that right, Mr. Umpire, sir?
Now, early on, we saw a couple balls off the corner call.
Outside, ball 3. Parmalee on deck does have home run power, but the wind to right field.
Yeah, but he hits the ball to left, too. And, you know, we already see Chris Davis back in the first do that. There's a strike.
Boyer, the 5th Minnesota pitcher in this game.
Yeah, you love to see these confrontations. The pitcher has to throw a strike, very aggressive, good fastball hitter at the plate. Got it, missed it.
Slicing fly ball into left field, and it doinks in there for a base hit.
Ooh, the doink.
The tying run is on, winning run at the plate here in the 9th inning.
It didn't take long for you to get your regular season doink out. And now all of a sudden the go-ahead run. And because of the wind, you play a little bit deeper, and then nobody can get to it.
And, of course, it's the former Minnesota Twin coming to the plate as Wayne Kirby talking with Paredes. And here's Chris Parmalee, who walked his first at-bat, took over at first base for Chris Davis. Might the Orioles put on a hit and run? Minnesota wanted to see. Good take. Parmalee last year with Minnesota hit 7 home runs in 87 games. Last year he played 54 games in the outfield, 33 at first base for the Twins. Jim mentioned earlier when Vargas came on late in the year, there went first base opportunities.
Yeah, 9 home runs for Vargas and 215 at bats, and we saw that power today. I mean, he clubbed one into the wind. Kind of day, though, you don't have to swing for a home run. Just get it in the air, drive it.
Huge foul the other way. And that's another reason why spring training statistics, organizations have to be very careful looking at March numbers because of all the elements down here.
Right, you go back a couple of years ago, and we saw him in our first televised game on Mass, and Jake Fox.
Yeah.
You know, with Toronto now, hit what, 10 home runs?
10 home runs in one spring. Wind is blowing even more stiffly now out towards left center field.
A two-seamer or something. They have pretty good movement. you kind of know if you're Blaine Boyer, Parmalee, at least early on, we got behind him, would love to hit a ball into right field. Maybe with Paredes having the ability to go from first to third, at first and third, nobody out. And of course, if you're Chris Parmalee, you're just trying to make contact. It becomes a little bit easier to pitch.
Slice foul the other way. It's good to see that as Boyer tried to get it on the outer part of the plate, that Parmalee just went that way, not trying to do too much on the pull. So Cobal, the new hitting instructor, he is thrilled to be in this organization. As is Sean Berry, for the first Paredes back. Sean will be the AAA hitting coach. He replaced Denny Walling, who retired after last year. And Sean was saying yesterday how he was absolutely thrilled when the opportunity to come to Baltimore happened, and he's looking forward to working with Ron Johnson down at Norfolk. Said he's already trying to get some improvements done to the hitting cage down there. Parmalee, another extended at-bat.
Yeah, we have not seen Boyer throw anything off speed. And he's so late on the fastball. If you can, in this count, 1 ball, 2 strikes, you can throw a breaking ball, but if you hang it, boy, that can get you in trouble.
One-two pitch coming here to Parmalee. Paredes doesn't go. Double play ball towards short. Out at second and out at first on a nice scoop by Rolfing on the back end.
Yeah, it really was. It was actually a nice play by the middle infielder because the ball stayed down. And looks this ball, the bottom just stays down. Always want to try to stay below the hop. In other words, bring the glove up. Otherwise, it goes through your legs.
Defense helps there. Parmalee extended the at-bat, fouling pitches off, but Boyer gets his man. Ozzie Martinez struck out his first at-bat. That was in the 7th inning. One of the players brought over today from the minor league camp. There were 4 of them brought over. And a strike. 2 of the 4 got in the game.
Yeah, you can bet the ranch that Ozzie didn't think he was going to get 2 at-bats in this game.
That's right. Center field playing deep was Ferris. And he's got it for the out, and the ball game is over. So the Orioles made it interesting, but Minnesota holds on, and they win it by a final of 10-9. Base hit with a double play, race to base runner, and none left. We hope you can join us next Wednesday, March 25th. More spring training action from here in Sarasota. The Blue Jays will be in town. They'll take on the O's. Coverage on MASN begins at 1 o'clock. And now for Jim Palmer and our entire hardworking crew, Jim Hunter saying so long from Ed Smith Stadium in Sarasota, Florida, where our final score is Minnesota 10 and the Orioles 9. Today's telecast has been a MASN presentation. We look forward to seeing you on March 25th. More spring training baseball here on MASN. Have a great day, everybody.